Jaguars' northern expedition wasn't about victory. Doug Marrone's team seeks improvement and will go anywhere to find it. The NFL's best defense challenged Blake Bortles and the offense. Pro Football's most expensive quarterback tested the Jaguars' defense. The Jaguars trekked to Minnesota to reach a higher level of performance. Did they find it? We're about to find out on the Jaguars Television Network.
Live from U.S. Bank Stadium, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Minnesota Vikings on the Jaguars Television Network.
And welcome into U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis for preseason Week 2 action as the Jaguars take on the Minnesota Vikings. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Brian Sexton, along with Pride of the Jaguars great Fred Taylor. And what a week it's been for these Jaguars. To last Sunday when Jalen Ramsey and Dante Fowler Jr. were suspended. Tuesday, they came here. Wednesday, the GQ article. Thursday, practice. Now it's game time. You reached out to Jalen Ramsey's people this morning. What did you learn?
Well, I learned that Jalen, he understands that he violated team policy. He also realizes the opportunity missed this week to compete against receivers such as Adam Thielen and Stefan Diggs. I think what's most important, Brian, is that he's focused and ready to rejoin the team.
Now, an opportunity missed by Jalen is an opportunity picked up by someone else. A couple of guys in particular should have their opportunity today.
Yeah, Tyler Patman, he'll get the start. Also, DJ Hayden, he's another guy who's had an opportunity to make some good plays this week. Here he is with an interception in practice. He's just ready to go out there and play.
Now, on the offensive side of the ball, the Jaguars' offense was tested by the #1 defense in football a year ago, the Minnesota Vikings. The receivers in particular will be challenged today by great corners like Xavier Rhodes and Trey Waynes.
Yeah, I think the offense did real well this week as well. You know, Blake, he had an opportunity to go against the #1 defense from 2017. I think the biggest question is, can the receivers get separation from such a great secondary in the Vikings? But again, throughout this week in practice, they made a lot of tough catches, and they're very competitive.
We're looking at guys like Dante Moncrief and DJ Chark. We've got a lot more action to come from Minneapolis, and we'll return for kickoff on the Jaguars Television Network.
Ball is brought to you by TIAA Bank. Created to serve, built to perform. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. And Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. Welcome back to Minneapolis. A beautiful 80-degree day outside. It's time to check today's weather conditions, brought to you by McGowan's, the official heating and air conditioning partner of the Jaguars. You see the sun outside, we're indoors, completely enclosed inside U.S. Bank Stadium, 70 degrees, perfect weather for football. There is a special ceremony on the sidelines going on right now. We check in with Brett Martineau and Ashlyn Sullivan.
It's been an emotional week here in Minneapolis for these joint practices between the Jaguars and the Vikings. It's a remembrance here this afternoon and also a celebration of a good man and a life lived in the NFL. Tony Sparano passed away a couple of weeks ago, and his son is an assistant coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tony Sparano Jr. Tony Jr. and his mom Jeanette, honorary captains for this game. They just had a moment of silence, and they also had a video tribute to Tony Sparano Sr.
Absolutely, Brent. Today the Jaguars and Vikings coaching staff will wear these Tony Sparano initial pins, as well as the Vikings' entire roster is going to wear Tony Sparano stickers on the back of their helmets. Tony Sparano is even in the program for today. It is Tony Sparano Day here, showing the unison between these two teams, remembering a great man.
All right. There's Tony Sparano Jr., assistant offensive line coach for the Jaguars. Fred played for the 2002 Jaguars, which Tony was the tight ends coach. I obviously covered that team, talking to Tony Jr. this week. All he can say is thank you for the support that has been shown to him by the Jaguars, the Vikings, and fans of both teams. Tony Sparano was a good man and a good football coach. And I can tell you one thing, he loved football and would love to be here today watching these two teams, as both head coaches said, work to get better. The Jaguars won the toss. They will defer and kick off. And so here at this beautiful brand new stadium, we're about to get underway. Mike Hughes, the rookie cornerback from Central Florida, the Vikings' #1 overall selection, is back deep to retrieve the opening kickoff. Preseason week 2. And there's a high end-over-end boot. Hughes will get underneath it, shallow in the end zone. Moving out near side. The Jaguars get him just as he crosses the 25-yard line, shy of the 30. Hey, special teams, a big focus of both clubs this week during their joint practices, Fred.
Definitely a huge focus for Coach DeCamillis after what they did last week. I think right here he would also go back and say that was a little bit much for them to give up to start this game.
So here's Kirk Cousins, the $84 million man, lining up 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Cousins in the pocket to throw, fires it out. And it's caught for a short gain to Latavius Murray. Out about the 34-yard line. There is a flag down the field.
Before the pass was thrown, holding by the defense, number 23. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic, 1st down.
No doubt you recognize the official's name, Hockley. It's not Ed, though. It's his son, Sean, who's our referee this afternoon. So here's 1st down again at the 34-yard line.
Jaguars single high safety, expect and run.
Cousins tries to get the ball out to Adam Thielen, and Tyler Patman, the replacement for Jalen Ramsey, with a nice play.
Yeah, Brian, I think that was a great job of Patman coming back after getting a holding penalty the play before. Doing an excellent job defending the play right here.
They've got big play receivers, Thielen and Stephon Diggs, who are each outside the numbers. 2 backs for the first time today. And here's the handoff to Murray, looking for room. The Jaguars corral him as he crosses the 35 for a short gain.
Much like practice this week, Brian, a lot of penetration up front, not much room for Murray to go. See, unique there on the backside. Great tackle by Tevin up there in the middle.
A.J. Boye also there to help him. So here's 3rd and 9 for Kirk Cousins. First year at the helm of the Vikings. But this offense was proficient on 3rd down last year, converting about 43% of the time. 4 receivers on 3rd down and long. Pocket collapsing. Cousins fires over the middle, looking for his big target. It is incomplete. He couldn't find Kyle Rudolph. Nice coverage there.
Again, receiver isolated on the outside right here. Rudolph, just a big, strong guy. He's able to use his body, but great defense by Church. You know, this is also a situation that the Jaguars also want to improve in. Getting off the field on 3rd down, giving the opportunity for the offense to get the ball in great field position.
And Jadon Mickens stands at the 15-yard line to retrieve this first punt of the ball game. Mickens gets underneath it at the 21. No fair catch, and he pushes forward to about the 25-yard line. He electrified fans a year ago in that game in November against Cincinnati with the touchdown. And the rest of the season last year, he was a spark.
Yeah, he did a great job coming on last year, being a spark for those guys. And in order for Mickens to make this team with such a deep receiving corps, Brian.
Number 55 of the receiving team, that 10-yard penalty would be enforced from the end of the kick. 1st down.
2 early penalties on the Jaguars. And this one will back them up from the
Brian, as I was alluding to, Mickens, he's going to have to really show some good things on special teams. in order for him to make that roster. He and a guy like Rashad Green.
Rashad Green is going to have to show some things as a coverage guy too. But here's the offense. One back, two tight ends. Cole and Marquis Slater split to either side. Bortles with a quick drop, looks on the slant, and finds Marquis at the 15-yard line for a short gain, and he's tackled by Xavier Rose, the All-Pro Pro Bowl corner.
The Vikings started there in the off coverage, just giving up everything in front of them. Good throw and catch by Blake and Marquis.
They put the ball over across the 15 to the 16-yard line. It's 2nd down and 5.
Here the Jaguars are in 12 personnel. That's 2 tight ends, 1 running back.
Perfect running situation. Fournette behind Bortles.
The Vikings are 8 in the box. Reason for a check by Blake right there.
Vikings filling the gaps, and here's the handoff. Fournette trying to run outside. Now wants to reverse his field. There's nothing there. Bring up 3rd down for the Jaguars.
Yeah, Brian, not a lot of running room for Blake right there. Such a great defensive line right there in the Vikings. So much penetration from the outside defensive end position. The good thing is Leonard was able to get back north and not lose more yards by going lateral.
The Vikings defense was #1 in the NFL last year on 3rd down. Their opponents only converted 1 time in 4. A tight end and 4 receivers for Bortles on 3rd down and 6. 4-man pressure. Bortles turns and fires, and this one is nearly intercepted, and it finally hits the ground after going through 4 purple shirts. And the Jaguars will punt.
Here the Vikings did an amazing job at cover 4. Just an easy zone, knowing that they had to just give up something in front of them so they can come up and make a tackle. Tip ball. Thank God it wasn't picked.
So here's Logan Cook, the rookie punter from Mississippi State, who had a 60-yard punt last week. He'll punt from inside his 10-yard line. High hanging kick. And DJ Chark, the first man down there, misses, and the Vikings return man getting to the outside is finally dropped by James O'Shaughnessy across the Vikings 40-yard line. They'll have outstanding field position when we return to US Bank Stadium. No score in the first quarter on the Jaguars television network. Doug Marrone wants to see better from his team this week. So far, no score in the first quarter. Hey, Jaguars fans, show your Jaguars pride. Purchase your Jaguars Collector's Cup featuring your favorite players from any participating gate location. Only 99 cents for a limited time. Brian Sexton, Fred Taylor back with it. US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. This is the 2nd drive for Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. It begins in great field position at their own 44-yard line. Cousins, the free agent acquisition from the Washington Redskins, making his home debut here in front of the Viking faithful. Hands the ball to play action, and Yannick Ngakoue read it the entire way and drops him for a huge loss, and now is going to get a penalty. Now that one's kind of curious because he wasn't doing it over the player. Here's Sean Hoculey. Apparently they're going to talk it over a little bit more.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct by the defense, number 91. That 15-yard foul will be enforced from the dead ball spot. 1st down.
And I didn't see much there, but Yannick does a great job of discipline.
We did.
And not crashing with the running back down there, staying in his lane and his assignment.
So it was a loss of 13 on the sack. And it will be a 15-yard mark-off, so it's a net gain for the Vikings.
Yannick's a little aggressive right there.
So here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Jaguars have a lot of personality. We saw it this week. And here's the handoff, and Barry Church read it perfectly and ran to the line of scrimmage and drops Murray for a short gain. First quarter, No score.
The Jaguars have done a great job on first down. They're in single high, one safety run defense. They're really testing the Vikings to throw the ball.
2nd down and 6, and there are 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Sure looks like they're set up to try that. Cousins looking right all the way, fires one, has an intended receiver, and it's a first down. Plenty of room to run for Laquan Treadwell. First down of the game.
Here the Jaguars are in the zone. Got a deep safety right here. Cousins did a great job of finding a soft spot right here. Awesome job by the receiver getting upfield. Better job by the defense pursuing.
Here's 1st and 10 at the Jags' 41-yard line, and the handoff to Murray. And he's got a big hole, and he leaps the defender, and he's on the run. And the ball is free on the field, and Yannick Ngakoue left for it. Miles Jack at the bottom of the pile. Ronnie Harrison, the rookie safety from Alabama, knocked it loose. Jaguars couldn't take advantage. What a move by Latavius Murray. Jaguars were a team that forced turnovers last year. Apparently we're going to see more of the same. Here, Tom Compton, the guard, makes the recovery for the Vikings, and they pick up 11 yards on the play. 1st and 10 at the 30 of the Jaguars now, and Cousins will work from the shotgun. Thielen, the man in motion. And here's the handoff to Murray. He's looking for room. A flag is thrown. This time the Jaguars stop him. Avery Jones and Yannick Ngakoue.
I expect that to be a cut block on Ngakoue. Or
Personal
against
foul.
Ngakoue.
Chop block by the offense number 63. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot. Replay. First down.
Yeah, if you can see right here on Avery Jones, there's a chop block, which is definitely illegal in this league.
Danny Isadora, the backup right guard. So reset at 1st and 25. Vikings at the Jaguars' 45-yard line. 9:13 to play first quarter. There's the swing pass, and the Jaguars are all over it. A.J. Boye was right there, and there's another flag thrown into the mix. C.J. Ham was the receiver out of the backfield. Judging on the reaction of Miles Jack, this one's going against the visitors.
Yes, the refs are keeping those guys honest. They're playing an aggressive style of football. They're flying around, and the refs want to make sure they have complete control of this game.
Personal foul. Lowering the helmet to initiate contact by the defense number 21. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
Well, that's the first time we've seen that called.
Well, yeah, Brian, we didn't see much of it last week. Obviously, this crew, they're going to call it a lot. Yeah, Boye right there, he got his head in there a bit more. Thankfully, he didn't get injured or jam neck. I think it was the correct call, Brian.
Up and down the field, penalties moving the ball all over as we go under 9 minutes to play in the first quarter. 1st and 10 now at the Jaguars' 26-yard line. Ham, the fullback, in motion. Quick toss by Cousins. He's got Thielen, and he didn't make the grab. He went to the ground at the 21-yard line. Incomplete.
Again, right there, Brian, the Jaguars just in the zone defense, keeping everything in front of them.
Cousins walked into a situation here this year with Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, and Kyle Rudolph, who combined for 212 catches and 20 touchdowns last year. You combine that with his strong arm, and people in Minnesota are excited. Jaguars saw it on the practice field all week long. They're a very efficient outfit. Corners are pressed, and here's the handoff to Murray running left, and the Jaguars are all over this one.
And in that too, Brian, you can't forget about the talented group of running backs in Murray and Cook.
Well, Silver Salaga is the guy who pushed the guard back, and then over the top came a wall of white shirts.
And again, there you see Telvin on the bottom of the pile. I love his aggressive nature.
Here's 3rd down and 11. Jaguars with 3 down linemen. Yannick Ngakoue, Telvin Smith, Miles Jack circulating up front. filling gaps and backing off. Pressure coming, and Cousins steps to avoid it, dumps it off underneath. The receiver makes the catch, but it's a very short gain, and another play by Tyler Patman, who's making his name felt in the place of Jalen Ramsey today, I should say.
Good job in man coverage by Patman on the drag route. Even better job by him with the tackle. That's not easy.
Nice job by the defense.
Brian, I felt like tackling was always the hardest thing to do in this game.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How many times did you tackle?
Well, I didn't have to tackle. I knew where I was going. But those defensive guys out there that doesn't know the direction of the ball carrier, it's tough on them.
Here's the field goal attempt up on the way, and it's good. Yeah, there were a lot of guys who felt like tackling you were tough also, Fred. Really tough. 3-0, Vikings on top, and we're back in Minnesota after this. The unofficial kickoff to the 2018 season on Sunday, September 2nd at TIAA Bank Field. The biggest concert on the First Coast features Jacksonville's own Leonard Skinner. The all-day music festival also features Jason Aldean and Kid Rock. Visit Ticketmaster.com for more information. 3-0, the Vikings lead here with 7:18 to play in the first quarter. Crazy drive for the Vikings, 9 plays and 30 yards. However, they had 3 penalty first downs, 2 were 15-yard penalties against the Jaguars. 1 on Yannick Ngakoue for unsportsmanlike conduct, and 1 on A.J. Boye for lowering his head. Here's a short kickoff, and it is going to bounce, and the Jaguars luckily get it out of bounds. Niles Paul went and swung his arm at it. I'm not sure if DJ Chark thought it was like a punt. Didn't know it was a live ball.
Yeah, Chark, he let the ball take a bounce. Usually you never want the ball to take a bounce.
Never on a
they
kickoff.
were able to kick it out of bounds there before the Vikings gained possession.
The Jaguars' first drive, Fred, started at the 11. This one starts at the 17.
The Jaguars looking not to have another 3-and-out right here. After last week, they started fast with a 15-play drive.
3 receivers at the top of the screen. Tyler Koyak at the bottom. A little pressure, want to set up the screen. There's Leonard up at the 20-yard line, trying to make a man miss, and he does. He's across the 20 and puts his shoulder down to the 21-yard line for a 9-yard pickup. Big Leonard will soften up the defense with those screens, won't he?
Yeah, nicely executed screen right there. As you can see, Brian, that was a nicely executed screen. Very patient right there by Leonard. Allow those defensive linemen to clear up field. Newman, he just whiffed. He put his head down. Thankfully, he didn't make contact, or else that would have been a penalty for the Vikings.
Shotgun now for Bortles, 2nd and 1. Play action. He's firing the ball. It's intercepted. This one's picked off by Harrison Smith, the all-pro safety who stepped right in front of D.D. Westbrook, and the Vikings have it in scoring position.
Here you are. The Vikings just dropped into a 3-buzz coverage right here. Great job by the free safety of stepping in front of that play. Blake didn't see him at all, but even better job by the defensive player.
Bortles had a near interception on the first drive. The second one, Harrison Smith comes up with it, sure-handed as he is. 1st and 10 for Cousins at the Jacksonville 23-yard line. They hand it to Murray, and Yannick Ngakoue is there. The ball is free, and Calais Campbell has recovered a fumble. So just like that, the Jaguars defense stands up tall. Ngakoue has made his presence felt with a sack and now a strip. A forced fumble that Calais Campbell picks up.
There's the opportunistic defense in the Jaguars that we're used to seeing. Disciplined by Yannick right there.
Jaguars defense looks as advertised here on the Jaguars television network. At 3-0, the Vikings lead it. Blake Bortles, thanks to Malik Jackson forcing the fumble, which was recovered by Calais Campbell. All caused by Yannick Ngakoue making contact with Latavius Murray. Takes over at his 31, and there's Leonard over the left side now. And look at him still fight for room. Let's go back and take a look, Fred. It was actually Malik Jackson who forced the ball free.
Yeah, great job by Ngakoue to stay down the line and grab the runner. Even better job by, right here, Malik to get his right hand in there and cause the fumble. Calais to secure the recovery. Amazing job by the defense.
2 forced fumbles in the ballgame. Receivers set up to the left, and now Marquise Lee goes in motion. Play action, there's a quick toss. And the first down of the ballgame for the Jaguars, thanks to a sure pair of hands by D.D. Westbrook, who took a big pop. Safety Andrew Sendejo makes the stop, and he hit him hard.
Yeah, that was a pretty good run sale right there by Fournette to draw the defender and clear the lane for D.D. Westbrook.
So the first down of the game for the Jaguars, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 42-yard line.
There, Jaguars again in their 2 tight end set, single back.
Here's play action. Bortles under some pressure, steps to avoid Danielle Hunter. Now turns on the run and throws down the field, and he's got a man, and it's off the fingertips of his intended target, Niles Paul. It looked like the coverage from Lance Kendricks was spot on, but there's a flag.
Brian, that was a good job of Bortles stepping up.
Pass interference. Offense number 81. A 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay. First down.
So not Kendricks, it's against Niles Paul.
Here you go, Paul right there with his hand on the defender. That's a no-no in this league. Good call by the officials.
That's the 5th first-quarter penalty for the Jaguars, and if you do simple math like I do, they're on track for 20 in this ball game. Early on, it is not pretty. 1st and 20, Jags backed up to the 32.
And I'm sure the Saints are looking for screen right here.
There's a quick toss. Leonard on the run, puts his shoulder down and reaches for the 40.
Well, they want to get Leonard more active in the pass game as well as 3rd downs to show that he can protect the quarterback as well. Here you just have a free release by the running back. Blake's job is to get him out to him quick, get some positive yardage right there. Good job by Leonard securing the catch and getting north.
Claw back 8 yards there on 1st down. It's now 2nd and 12. T.J. Yeldon checks into the ball game in place of Leonard. And Bortles sends 4 receivers out across the formation. Here comes the blitz. Bortles stands, turns, and throws. Beautiful throw, catch, 1st down. The Jaguars find Dante Moncrief. And pick up 15.
Here again, the Vikings are showing blitz. They send 2 off the corner. Free release by Yeldon in the flat. Great job by Blake to get the ball off to Moncrief.
And that's the kind of separation that you said we needed to see from these Jaguars receivers.
We need to see from those receivers.
Jaguars go with a speedy trio on the bottom of the screen, and now Moncrief slides. There's a quick toss out. Leonard looking for a block is patient, and the Vikings, big and powerful as they are patient also and make the stop for no gain.
You have 11 personnel right here. 3 receivers set, trips bottom left. As a player, Brian, I never really liked that play.
Why?
You know, I've always liked running between the tackles. I really didn't like running outside much.
Danielle Hunter,
show extreme patience.
A young defensive end was equally patient. And so it brings up 2nd and 10 at the Vikings' 45-yard line. 2 backs this time, Yeldon in there with Fournette. First time we've seen that. Pressure coming, there's a screen, and Yeldon's got room to run and a blocker in front of him, and he finds the 1st down up the Vikings sideline to the 34-yard line. An 11-yard pickup on a nifty little screen for T.J. Yeldon.
You know, Brian, I love the personnel grouping with both backs in the backfield. Here you have Leonard with a free release. Yeldon to secure the screen play right there as Leonard clear his man out. Great job blocking outside by Leonard as well. I think we're going to see a lot of that this year.
2.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Jaguars trail, but are driving. 3-0 Vikings lead. Here's play action. Bortles with time, launches this one in the direction of Marquise Lee, who cannot pull it in inside the 10-yard line. Just off his fingertips. How about Bortles standing in there?
That's what Blake does. He's a big, strong guy, and he doesn't hesitate to stand in the pocket. You have a good play-action fake, stepping in the middle of the pocket by Blake, knowing he was going to get shoved by the defender. I think two hands would have secured the catch for Marquise.
Yelled in the back. Tight ends are left.
Yeah.
There's 3 tight ends in the ball game because Niles Paul is on the right. Bortles back to throw, sets up the screen. And there's Yeldon looking for blockers. He's got him. With a shifty little move, he's still on his feet at the 20-yard line. There goes T.J. Yeldon inside the 5. First and goal, Jaguars.
Hey, Brian, you got to love the design by the offense coordinator Nathaniel Hackett to bring in 3 tight ends. Defense surely thought there was a run set up. But a screenshot right here. You got the guys blocking in the front. You got to love that, those guys in the front. Amazing job reading the play by Yeldon. And he's showing that he's healthy. He's had a very good camp. No sign of that ankle injury anywhere.
Doug Marrone told us last night that this is as good as Yeldon has looked in the years that they've been together.
I would agree. He's moving much better.
And Yeldon arrived as a rookie when Doug Marrone arrived as the offensive line coach.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So now it's 1st and 10. First and goal at the 10-yard line. And that's the 6th penalty in the first quarter on Doug Marrone's team. You know that's going to be a huge topic of conversation in the postgame.
Oh, without a doubt. They have the ball so close to the goal line, and now you have to move backwards.
2
Worst
offense,
nightmare.
2 defense, 2 special teams. It's spread all across the roster. Here's play action. Bortles plants, turns, is hit, and is sacked. Daniil Hunter, who gave anyone who lined up across from him fits on the practice field this week.
Yeah, just O'Shaughnessy right there. That's a tough job for him. You know, being a tight end, it's really hard to block those defensive ends. Hunter, he's an outstanding player. We have to get the tight end to do a better job on the corner.
A loss of 5. There's 2nd and goal from the 15 now, and there's a throw, and O'Shaughnessy was nowhere near it. Boy, 1st and goal at the 5, 20 seconds ago, looked great. All of a sudden, it's 3rd and goal from the 15.
Yeah, here you have another free release by the running back. It's a 2-man route combination between the back end and O'Shaughnessy, high-low. Here, you would have liked to see Blake put the ball higher at a higher point towards the pylon.
So the second drive is 11 plays. I guess technically this is the 3rd drive because of the turnover.
Yeah,
11 plays.
Left. Single receiver down low right.
Bortles on the run, looking for room to the outside, and he takes a block and a hit, and he is stopped shy of the goal line. They'll put him out of bounds near the 1. You go for it here, don't you? That's the Jaguars' personality.
This
Just
is
like
the
Bortles.
X factor. This is the X factor. This is what he does well. Very deceiving, big, strong guy. He doesn't mind running it up in there. You rarely see Blake slide.
Big Anthony Barr is the only thing that kept big Blake Bortles out of the end zone. It'll be 4th and goal from the 1 when we return to U.S. Bank Stadium. The Jaguars on the doorstep. We'll find out right after this. Nothing. The Vikings lead it here as we get set to begin the second quarter. You can see the Jaguars have outgained the Vikings. Now, can they outscore them? 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. Here's the handoff, and it's going to be a touchdown. Leonard Fournette.
Very solid
go
run
for
by
that.
Leonard. Yeah, it was a no-brainer to go for a few different reasons. The defense plays outstanding, and it's the preseason. You want to make sure you get those reps and take advantage of it. Good job right here by Leonard, getting behind the big guys up front, just using that 230 pounds to barrel his way inside the end zone.
Well, after a shaky first drive and a second drive that ended with an interception, the third drive was 12 plays, Fred. Nice, sustained. Hey, they had to overcome penalties on this, too.
Don't flinch. After having a 3-and-out and to come back and have a drive as wonderful as that. Testament to the O-line and those guys that they've had a solid week of practice.
Here's Lambeau with the extra point. Up on the way. It is good. 3 seconds gone from the second quarter. Jaguars now lead 7-3. And we're back to Minneapolis right after this. Jaguars football is brought to you by TIAA Bank. Created to serve. Built to perform. And Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Welcome back to U.S. Bank Stadium, where the Jaguars are leading 7-3. Newly acquired tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins has fit into this offensive system almost immediately and is extremely close with quarterback Blake Bortles. He just said later on in his press conference that the reputation of Bortles is wrong.
I think he's a hell of a quarterback. You know, I think he makes plays when it counts. I think he wins football games when it counts. He's going to do what it takes to win, and that's what you want in a quarterback, a guy that wants to win and does the job. That's what I want in a quarterback. That's what we need in a quarterback. I think I'm happy we have Blake Bortles here.
So even though Austin Seferian-Jenkins has only been with this team for a few months, he knows the national reputation of Blake Bortles, and he doubts it. He even goes to the quarterback meetings every morning with Blake Bortles and is really getting a grasp of this offensive system, guys.
Thanks, Ashlyn. Hey, an impressive drive for Bortles. The most impressive part was the third down scramble for 14 yards to set up that 1-yard touchdown plunge. Didn't you think, Fred?
And again, off what Austin Seferian-Jenkins said in that piece right there, you know, Blake does what it takes to get it done. You know, he's a guy who's scrappy, he's big, he's strong, and he just wants to win.
Here's
He'll do
Lambeau
anything to win.
kicking off to Hughes at the goal line, looking for room as he goes back to the outside. This time, the Jaguars are all over him as he crosses the 20-yard line. There are flags down in a couple of different places on the field. Jared Wilson will be given credit for the tackle, and we'll see. The Jaguars, 6 penalties in the first quarter, 6 for 60 yards. To say they've got to get things cleaned up here in the second is an understatement.
Definitely an understatement,
Personal foul,
Brian.
lowering the helmet to initiate contact by the kicking team, number 81. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down.
So make it 7 for 75, and that's 2 now on Niles Paul. He had the 10-yard pass interference on that last drive. And after not seeing the lowering the head call against New Orleans last week, we've seen it twice here in the early going. Jaguars on top 7-3. The line of scrimmage, instead of being the 22 or the 23, is the 38-yard line. Jalen Myrick checks into the ball game now. The University of Minnesota product, playing at home. And here's the handoff, and Latavius Murray is stopped by Jalen Myrick. They'll put him at the 42-yard line. So a 4-yard pickup for Latavius Murray, who, as we saw on the practice field this week, is deceptively big. He doesn't look at 6'3", 230.
Better job by Myrick having to bring down such a big running back.
So second down and 6. Jaguars have a couple of new guys in the ball game now. Back to throw. Cousins nearly hit as he throws, which forces the overthrow to Adam Thielen. Hunter Dimmick is checked into the ball game in place of Calais Campbell.
Here we have pressure on Kirk Cousins by Leon Jacobs. This rookie is outstanding. I just love the way he's been playing, Ryan.
So here is third down for Cousins. First minute of the second quarter. Murray flanks to his left. Cousins shuffles, turns, and throws it. This one is incomplete. He was looking for Stephon Diggs and couldn't connect, and the Vikings will punt. Once again, Tyler Patman making his presence felt in place of Jalen Ramsey. Ryan Quigley will punt. And Jadon Mickens is back deep to retrieve. (7-3) Jaguars on top, but they're going to get it back. We'll see how many substitutions we see here as the punt is hitting at the 20-yard line, picked up by Mickens on the bounce, and he's looking for room, and he's out near the 20. Generally, that's a shaky decision, but it worked out this time. 7-3, Jaguars lead it. We're back after this. Staying with their offensive line in part, let's check in with Brent Martineau and get the story. Brent?
Yeah, Brandon Linder, it looked like on that fourth down play, got banged up a little bit. He walked off the field under his own power, but right to the medical tent, he's still in there. Jags are saying it's a knee. He's questionable to return. Tyler Shatley now at the center position. He played left guard last week, but they wanted to see him at center anyway today.
Well, here's 1st and 10 in the handoff to Leonard Fournette, who had 6 touches to this point. That's his 7th. 5 of them are now rushes and 2 receptions. And we were told that he'd see about 20 snaps in this ball game. That's number 13 for him.
Yeah, Brian, it didn't look like much right there. But again, that was a solid 4-yard gain.
So 2nd and 6, Jaguars near their 24-yard line. Leonard in the backfield. And the handoff again. He spins to the outside, runs or tries to run over the defender, but could not get away from the tackler.
Yeah, not much room right there, Brian, for Fournette. But you always want to try and find a positive to take away from the play. There was penetration in the backfield. Good spin move by Leonard, and he finished forward. Running backs coach, head coaches, running backs, you want to see ball carrier finish forward.
So here's 3rd down and 4. Bortles goes to the shotgun. Rashad Green checks into the ball game for the first time. Bortles looks down the field. He's got a man, and what a catch! But not really. It looked like Niles Paul had made a beautiful catch, but the ball was wrestled away at the very end by the safety. Anthony Harris, incomplete, and the Jaguars will punt. Great protection up front. Bortles had time to step and throw.
Again, Fournette in there on 3rd down, and they're trying to work him into the protection plans as he was able to chip through to buy even more time for the quarterback and release on his route.
Here's a punt from Cook. Marcus Sherrills calls for the fair catch, and now he gets back up, or was he? He was telling his teammates to get away from it so he could get up and run to the 41-yard line. 7-3, Jags lead it. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment. The Jaguars are going mobile, meaning you'll only be able to enter TIAA Bank Field this season using your mobile ticket. To get started, simply download the Jags app before game day. From there, you can manage your tickets with just a few clicks. There's even a step-by-step tutorial showing you the ins and outs, so download the Jaguars app today. Trevor Siemian in place of Kirk Cousins. And here's the handoff, and not a lot of room. This tackle by Telvin Smith, which gave plenty of room for Mike Boone to get to the outside and pick up 19 yards.
Here you have a pretty good run by the running back there. Missed tackle by Telvin, and just a bad angle by Mike right there on the outside. Shouldn't have been a gain of 15.
So Boone stays in the ballgame now. 1st and 10 at the Jaguars' 40-yard line. Tight end joins him in the backfield. Here's the handoff to Boone again, looking for that cutback. This time, Yannick Ngakoue, who is on the ground, got him on the ground.
Yeah, Brian, that was a solid play by Ngakoue. Just coming down the line right there, even though he got cut blocked, just the hustle and the heart and passion for Yannick to get up and make that tackle.
So call it 2nd and 6. Vikings at the Jaguars' 36. Siemian, the former Denver Bronco, slides men across the formation. Here's a handoff again, and Boone with a shifty little move is free in the open field and down at the 25-yard line. It's an 11-yard pickup. Ronnie Harrison makes the stop.
Yeah, the Jaguars defense, they're just out of lanes right now. Open up a huge lane by the Vikings. Good stop by the rookie safety right there in Ronnie Harrison.
Jaguars defensive line had their way with this Vikings offensive front for most of the week that they practiced together, but on this drive, Vikings are making hay. First and 10 at the Jaguars' 25-yard line. Here's a handoff and a nice play by Yannick Ngakoue to stand him up. Rock Thomas found very little room to run. Call it 2 yards.
Brian, I've said it, I'll say it again. Yannick is my favorite player on this defense. I just love his hustle, coming down the line, staying disciplined, not worried about the quarterback boot action. Just giving it to the runner.
A couple of undrafted rookie runners in the bowl game. They'll stay with Thomas. From Jacksonville State back to throw. Simeon looks and misses Thomas out of the backfield. Incomplete. He was open, but Simeon bounced the ball into his hands.
Here you have Leon Jacobs up top, just pushing the defensive lineman, but great job by number 79 right here with a deflection.
Here's 3rd and 8. Neither team is converted on 3rd down. Simeon in the shotgun now walks back up to the line of scrimmage. Jaguars bring in the pressure. Simeon steps to avoid and cannot connect with his intended target at the 20-yard line. Jalen Myrick was in coverage, and he was trailing with Tavares King, but it's incomplete. And so here's another field goal attempt for the Vikings.
Yeah, Brian, the Jaguars did a pretty good job in man coverage right there, putting pressure on the quarterback as well as defending on the back end by Myrick.
So here's Kai Forbath with a 41-yard field goal attempt to make it a 7-6 ball game. 9:50 to play in the first half here at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. There's the snap and the placement, and the kick hits the right upright, is no good. And so the Jaguars maintain a 7-3 lead here in preseason game number 2. And we're back to Minneapolis in just a moment. In 3, the Jaguars lead. 9:46 to play in the first half here. Time for our VyStar Credit Union out-of-town scoreboard. We're the early game today, so there are 6 more for you if you're in a football mood. You can see there that the Texans out of the AFC South are hosting San Francisco. The Titans hosting Tampa Bay. So keep an eye on those guys. VyStar Credit Union proudly serving our members since 1952. Visit VyStarCU.org. Here's play action for Bortles, still in the ball game. Wants to launch it downfield. Now comes back to James O'Shaughnessy at midfield with room to run. And O'Shaughnessy lost the ball as he went out of bounds to the 40-yard line of the Vikings.
You know, Brian, prior to the play, I was saying to myself, this was a good opportunity to take a shot by the Jaguars. Good play action fake right there by Leonard Fournette in the flat. Here you are with O'Shaughnessy running across the middle. And good job by Blake Bortles locating and finding a nice soft pass right there. Good positive yardage by the tight end.
So first down at the 40 of the Vikings after a 29-yard completion to the tight end O'Shaughnessy. Bortles under the backup center. Tyler Shatland. Again, as you heard from Brent Martineau, they're evaluating the knee of Brandon Linder. Handoff. And there is Leonard Fournette. His 8th touch of the ball game. His 15th play. We were told that they wanted to get him about 20 snaps. And they wanted to see him on 3rd down. He's seen 3 third down plays so far. No gain really on that play, maybe a yard. And there is an injured Viking down. And it's Ade Aruna, backup defensive end. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 after the Vikings medical training staff evaluates the young defensive end. You hold your breath in the preseason, don't you, Fred?
Yeah, you never want to see guys get injured in the preseason, any game for that matter, Brian.
You can see that they're looking at his right leg, and that's generally a test they use for the stability of the knee. Although I'm not a doctor, I don't want to play one. We've just seen enough of this over 25 years.
Yeah, these guys, they practice and they train so hard in the offseason just to get in the game and get injured. You know, it's not a good feeling. And I think on both teams there are at least 12 guys out on each side today.
Some key guys too. I mean,
yeah.
Just Andrew Norwell has not yet played for the Jaguars on the offensive line. And Jeremy Parnell has not yet played in either preseason game. And Brandon Linder is now out. It's hard to see from that angle exactly what happened. And oftentimes when it comes to a knee, and we remember opening day in Houston last year where Allen Robinson just made a little stutter step on the sideline. Turned out he had torn his ACL. So we don't want to make any sort of proclamation other than to say they're looking at that right knee.
Yeah, we hope he's okay in the long run.
And it looks like they're going to bring the cart off the Vikings sideline to go and pick up Aruna, who is the Vikings 6th round pick, a player out of Tulane. Fighting to make it on a very loaded Vikings front. Hey, Daly's Place is rocking in downtown Jacksonville. It's already the premier outdoor entertainment venue with some of the hottest touring acts this fall. Electronic violinist Lindsey Sterling joins rock band Evanescence on August 20th. Then it's Jeff Beck and Paul Rogers on August 23rd. For the complete lineup and to purchase tickets, visit dailysplace.com. And they're helping Aruna up at this point. Jaguars. Now, look, if you're Doug Marrone and you're right in front of that, do you stick to your card with the number of plays? Or do you say, you know what, Leonard, let's get you out?
No, I think we have to steer the ship. You know, you don't want anything to happen, but you can't play too cautious. And Coach Marrone, I think he's, you know, big, you know, he really wants his guys to go out there and display their toughness. I don't think he'll hold anything back. You can't play soft. You can't play timid. It is the preseason. We don't want anything to happen to these guys. But you never know. You just never know when injury is going to happen.
And the Patriots found out the hard way this week. They lost their rookie left tackle to a torn Achilles. It is just part of the game that guys get hurt in these preseason contests.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
That's the hard part, especially for a young man like Aruna, who's being carted off right now because he's fighting for a job. Jaguars will have it 2nd and 9 at the 39 of the Vikings. 8:57 to play in the first half here at gorgeous U.S. Bank Stadium. Indoors in Minnesota seems like a good place to be, especially in the later half of the season. But we feel like we're outdoors because of all the windows and the glass on top of the building. Here's a handoff, and Fournette is hit and dropped in the backfield. There aren't many men that can do that and just drop it. And pardon me, that was T.J. Yeldon in the ball game.
You know, I think right here, the Jaguars got to do a better job at stepping. See Cam Robinson right there. He can't whiff on that block to allow the defensive end to take that inside step and approach the quarterback. Usually that can lead to a big turnover.
There's 3rd and 11. Fournette's back in the ball game now. Line of scrimmage, the 41 of Minnesota. There's a quick toss out. He's got Marquise Lee for the first down and up the Vikings sideline to the 27-yard line. What a great throw by Bortles.
Yeah, Brian, I think that's the first 3rd down conversion
for
either team.
For 14 yards.
Here's a pretty good job. See Leonard releasing right here, but even better job up top by the receiver on the speed out. Good throw and catch by the quarterback and receiver.
We spent so much time talking about Dante Moncrief and DJ Chark, who were in their first year in Jacksonville. Don't forget, the Jaguars made a big financial commitment to Marquise Lee this past spring as well. They have high hopes for him. Here's the handoff to Yeldon. Back in the ball game. He pushes forward for about 3 to the 24-yard line. You know, we talked with Doug Marrone about Yeldon. He said, this is as good as he's looked. They've been here all 4 years together. We talked specifically about his size, about the power that he's got. And you can see, to me, he looks much bigger up top.
Yeah, he's had an injury-free offseason. No sign of ankle injury, as we mentioned earlier. He came into camp in much better shape.
Fits that Jaguars grind the meat mentality with the running game. And here he is again with his stutter step, makes a man miss. And then there's a wall of purple shirts at about the 23, maybe got inside of one of them to the 22. Tough to run against these Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, not much going in the Jaguars run game right now. They have to make sure they get some push at the line of scrimmage to allow these guys a little room.
7-3, Jaguars lead. Great opportunity here, but it's 3rd down and 5. And as you mentioned, Fred, the Jaguars have converted 1 3rd down in this game.
Here you are with Leonard Fournette. They want to make sure he gets his 3rd down shots.
And here's a quick toss out to Leonard Fournette, and there is a flag to go with it. Looked like maybe this one was a little miscommunication because Leonard ran flat and the ball went a little further up the field, but see, there's a penalty down as mentioned.
That should be a penalty on the receiver right there. On Keelan Cole.
So Sean Hockley going to talk to Mike Zimmer. You know, we talked a lot this week about fighting. Obviously, the occurrence on the practice field in Jacksonville last week. None on the practice fields in Minnesota this week.
Personal foul, blindside block by the offense number 81. 15-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
You know, I think it was a missed call. It wasn't 81. In fact, it was number 84, Keelan Cole. There's a free release. He put the shoulder into Anthony Harris, and that's just a no-no. It's just more 15-yard penalties in the first half that I've seen in a long time, Brian.
8 penalties in the ball game on Jacksonville. 4 of them are 15-yarders.
Yeah.
And 90 yards total of penalty yards against Doug Marrone's team here in the first half. So now it's 3rd and 20. You're a mile from field goal range.
There are the Vikings again in that same defense with the backers mugged up in the middle. They could or they could not come. Let's see.
Here's the handoff, and Fournette stutter steps and can't get away from Stephen Weatherly.
Yeah, so the Vikings had guys up front, A-gap mug. They fell out, but again, tough blocking assignment by the offensive line up front when you have 8 guys standing at the line of scrimmage in front of you.
Doug Marrone going for it. A field goal, that is. So this is a 56-yard field goal, 55-56. Looks like the ball's going to be put down at the 46. Josh Lambo's got the leg for it. There's the snap, the kick up on the way. He's been so good this preseason, but that one sails wide right. And the Vikings will take over at their own 46-yard line, trailing 7-3 with still 5.5 minutes to play in the first half here in Minneapolis. Well, a special shout out to our fans watching the game in the UK and Mexico via live stream, courtesy of the great folks at Universal Orlando Resorts. For the first time in Jaguars history, all preseason games are being streamed live. So if you can't be near a television, visit jaguars.com/live or download the Jaguars app thanks to the folks at Universal Orlando Resorts. Simeon with play action under pressure immediately is dropped for a sack. Telvin Smith will finish him off, but Yannick Ngakoue, as you saw, was right up the middle quickly.
Yeah, Brian, that looks exactly how it looked this week in practice from the defensive line.
Offense number 76. That penalty's declined. 2nd down.
So drop him back. Incredible pressure on this play, and Yannick Ngakoue won't get the sack. Telvin will, but the loss of 7 could be credited directly to Ngakoue getting in the face of the quarterback. 2nd and 17 now for Trevor Simeon. He's got receivers to either side. And Sean Hockley blows the whistle and stops the clock. Would have been a holding penalty because Ngakoue was grabbed. He was so quick to the inside of Collins, the left tackle.
The penalty was declined. The play resulted in a sack. It is second down.
And that is the correct call.
Seven to 3. And it's off the hands of the receiver out of the backfield, Brock Thomas. Incomplete, it'll be 3rd and long.
Good job in man coverage by Telvin Smith against the running back. It's rare that you see running backs split out. It's even more rare you see the linebackers out there having to cover, but outstanding job by athletic Smith.
So here's 3rd down and 17. Ngakoue and Lorente McCray are the outside rushers. Simeon steps back into the pocket, now steps up. He's got room to run, to try to avoid, wants to throw at the last minute, does, but they needed so many yards that this is well short of the 1st down on the run. He found his wide receiver, Caleb Jones, but way short. Ronnie Harrison runs him out of bounds after an 8-yard pickup.
Again, the Jaguars did an outstanding job. They missed that coverage up top, but other places they did an outstanding job in man coverages. Thankfully, the quarterback didn't see that receiver running free.
So here's Quigley to punt, this time to D.D. Westbrook. Westbrook, an old Big 12 performer, and return punts at Oklahoma. This one steered away from him. He runs across the field, but it bounces out of bounds somewhere in the range of the 15-yard line, and that's where they'll put it. 4:19 to play in the 1st half. 7-3, the Jaguars lead it. And it looks like they're going to stay with their first-team offense, because here's Blake Bortles. Again, 3 starters on the offensive line, 2 who did not play today. Left guard Andrew Norwell and right tackle Jeremy Parnell, and Brandon Linder, who is out of the ball game with a knee injury. TJ Yeldon is in now. And at the 15-yard line, here's 1st down. DJ Chark slides in motion. Here's the handoff to Yeldon following Paul. Now comes back to the other side. He's got room to run. Up across the 25 and the 30. And TJ Yeldon picks up 17 yards to the 32.
That was a good job. Great vision by Yeldon right here. They ran a simple power play to the front side. Yeldon's job is to read the weak side linebacker. There he cut it back because the linebacker overflowed. Really hard run down the field by Yeldon.
And great footwork to stutter step and stop and
Great
change
footwork.
direction so quickly.
Great
Impressive.
footwork.
He has been very good this summer. Bortles holds up on his count. It's 1st and 10. Jaguars at the 32-yard line. Yeldon again. This time nothing. Ball squirted free there at the end, and he may lose a yard. He was looking for some cutback. Tommy Bohannon could not clear out that safety. So it is a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11.
That'll give a coach a nightmare. Got to hold on to that ball under any circumstances.
Yeah, there's a penalty. Too many men on the field for the Vikings.
Illegal substitution. 12 men on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
You take that. 2nd and 6 is a whole lot better.
Brian, these refs are in mid-season form. They are picking up everything.
Preseason for them too, though, right?
Oh, yeah. But they're doing an amazing job.
Here's the handoff to Yeldon. And he crosses the 38 towards the 39. And bring up 3rd down at about 3. And neither team's been good on 3rd down. The Jaguars do have the game's only 3rd down conversion. 2.5 to play. They're up 7-3.
And Fournette's back in 3rd down, as promised by Coach Marone.
You're right. Tough game, tough guys. You got to get the work in.
Vikings show blitz.
Bortles in the shotgun. Launches this one down the field and overshoots his intended target. He was looking for Rashad Green. Incomplete. The Jaguars will punt.
Brian, again, what we expected, as Coach Marone mentioned earlier this week, they wanted to see Fournette more on third down to see if he can pass protect. And on this particular play, Vikings show defense right there. Fournette is here, steps up. He can do a better job. Not so bad on the initial contact, but you want to take away the outside from the defender to make sure you secure a pocket for the quarterback.
So here's Logan Cook to punt. It's up a high spiraling kick, and Mike Hughes has to sail back inside the 10 to the 5 to make the catch. He's looking for room at the 10, trying to go around, and cannot get across the 13-yard line. That's generally not something you want. Is your return man grabbing the ball at the 5. He got out to the 12 for a 7-yard gain, a 56-yard punt, about an 8-yard return. DJ Hayden makes the stop.
Yeah, Brian, that was a mistake by the return man. Usually the 10-yard line is your cutoff. Any ball inside of the 10, you want to let it go.
So 2:01 remains. We'll have the 2-minute warning. The Vikings have all 3 times out. And Simeon is in the backfield with Mike Boone. One single high safety for Todd Wash's defense. Simeon under a little pressure, turns and throws. He's got a receiver. And that's a first down out near the 19-yard line. Tavares King sets up the Vikings with a first as we hit the 2-minute warning. 7-3, Jags lead. We're back after this. 7-3, the Jaguars on top. Doug Marone still has 4 starters from his first-team defense on the field right now as the Vikings try to mount a 2-minute drive here with all 3 times out. Yannick Ngakwe's out there, Miles, Telvin, and Malik Jackson. To throw, stepping to avoid the pressure, now going to turn and run. Flags throw everywhere. This is going to be a penalty. Orente McCray giving chase, and Simeon sends it to the Jaguars sidelines. Nice pressure up front.
The Jaguars switch coverage right there. The play before on the big play with the Vikings, Jaguars in man coverage. Here they went to cover 2.
By the offense, number 64. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Here's the holding on the left-hand side. Here's Malik over here. But the holding occurred on the left-hand side on the stunt. And here's the holding on the outside. Easy call for the refs.
So march them all the way back to the 15-yard line. First down at 20 for the Vikings. Spread formation here with 3 receivers. Safety's dropping back. Simeon with a little bit of time now, turns and fires. He's got Boone, and Boone is at the 15 and fights through the tackle to pick up 2. Tyler Patman, though, did get him to the ground.
Here again, the Jaguars are in 2 high safety, and they just want to keep everything in front of them. Miles Jack's dropping down the middle. See, nothing's getting deep behind him. Way to come up, Patman, and make the tackle.
Jaguars will use one of their 3 timeouts. Minute 38 left to play. The Vikings facing 2nd and 19 at their own 16-yard line. They'll have 2 remaining. We've seen penalties and turnovers in this first half by both teams. A lot of penalties by the Jaguars. 8 total for 90 yards.
2nd and long. I wonder if the Jags are expecting screen.
Simeon's got the snap and drops to throw. With time, launches this one in. His intended target turned in. The ball went over his outside shoulder. Incomplete. Clock stops with a minute 34 left to play in the first half. Jaguars don't have to burn a timeout here. They just got to get him off the field to get the ball back.
3rd down and 19 from the 16-yard line.
He'll stay with Boone in the backfield.
Here's the situation you got to love as a defensive coordinator, 3rd and 19.
Corners are pressing, safeties are dropping. Simeon calls for the snap and takes it. There's the draw play. Boone looking for room. Jaguars waiting. Nice job by Lorente McCray to get his hands around him and allow Miles and Telvin to come make the stop. It'll be 4th and 17 at the 18 with 1:30 left to play, and Doug Marrone uses the second of his 3. Time's out. So we'll see. Maybe D.D. Westbrook can get field position, and Josh Lambo can at least get a shot at another long field goal. He missed from 56, though, Fred, it doesn't even seem right to say you missed from 56.
You know, he was thinking draw. It went a little fade.
Exactly.
That happens.
So D.D. Westbrook stands at the Jaguars' 30-yard line. In front of him is DJ Chark. Quigley will punt from inside the 10. Plenty of time for the Jaguars to try to add to their 7-3 lead. Here's a beauty, high and hanging. Westbrook's got it. Across the 30 with room to run. He's at the 40 with even more room, and he's at the 50 and now on the run. Look at him go. He's still running all the way to the 25-yard line. However, there is a flag down back at the Jaguars' 42-yard line. Great return. Unfortunately, it's coming back. Hard to say whether that's the penalty there.
On the return, illegal block in the back by the return team number 10. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
So Dante Moncrief. Ninth penalty of the first half, a costly one.
Moncrief, a veteran guy. There he is right there. There he is right there with the block in the back. As a veteran guy, you got to know a little bit better. Plus, with a deep receiving core, you can't make those type of mistakes and waste your opportunities to make the team, Brian.
47-yard return negated. Ninth penalty for 100 yards in the first half. Hey, you're upset about those numbers, 9 for 100, if that's your number for the game. But for the first half, minute 14 left to play, 1 timeout. From his own 31, Bortles to Yeldon, and Yeldon out of the backfield crosses the 30-yard line out to the 35. It'll be 2nd and 6. 4-yard pickup for Yeldon out of the backfield. The good thing about the preseason, it's an opportunity to get out here and work on something else. 2-minute drill, 1 timeout. You know, they're so situational, Fred, on the practice field these days. I don't know when they practiced this, but I do know they did practice this.
Oh, without a doubt. Coach Marrone even said they have to be better in these situations. The players know they have to get better in these situations. Nicely executed throw and catch.
Bortles to Niles Paul. He's playing a lot today because Austin Seferian-Jenkins landed awkwardly on the football during a practice this week and is out. A 15-yard pickup, and Bortles sets up the screen. Yeldon's got blockers in front, room to run. Look at him go. He finally is out of bounds near the 32-yard line, and a flag is quickly thrown in.
You know, I wonder if they're going to call Yeldon from tripping with the helmet call. He tripped up. I didn't see anything there, but.
Holding by the offense number 11. 10 yards.
Marquise.
Replay, 1st down.
Look at the look on Doug's face. He just is struggling with now
Freezer guys
10
right
penalties.
Here. There's a holding right there by Marquise Lee. He just pulls the defender away. That's an easy call for the ref. I'm pretty sure Coach Marrone is going to get in the locker room. The first thing he's going to talk about is mental toughness and being disciplined. There's way too many calls, way too many penalties.
To the 46 of the Vikings. 1st and 6 with 43 seconds in a timeout. Bortles quick drop, looks right. Now has to scramble and just puts the ball at the feet of Yeldon as nothing was open down the field. He had Lee and he had Chark, but no one could get open.
Good
Separation
job by
again.
The Vikings secondary, no separation as you mentioned. That was a setup for a screen right there, but a good job by the back end, even better job by the defenders up front for reading it out.
They got speed over there. Keelan Cole, DJ Chark at the bottom of the screen. Marquise Lee at the top with James O'Shaughnessy. Bortles in the shotgun on 2nd and 6. Quick turn and throw, and he throws it behind Keelan Cole, who got behind the linebacker. Incomplete.
Yeah, the Vikings are trying to force Bortles to get the ball out rather quickly as they're blitzing left and right here. Good job by Yeldon with the blitz pickup.
Jaguars 1 of 6 on 3rd down here in the first half. This is the first 3rd down play, Fred, that Leonard Fournette has not been on the field. He was in all 6 of the previous opportunities. Bortles calling out protections as the play clock rolls down. There's the shotgun snap, pressure coming on the blitz, and he is going to get sacked. Nobody picked up the blitzing safety. Nobody was there when Ben Gideon came screaming up the middle. And so a promising drive.
Good job by Yeldon stepping up right there. But no one accounted for the free safety up the middle.
11-yard loss. And the Jaguars won't even need to run a play here. They were going to put their punt team out, but the play clock and the game clock expire. And that's the first half in Minneapolis. 7-3. The Jaguars lead it over the Minnesota Vikings, but a penalty-filled, mistake-filled first half prevents the Jaguars from putting even more points on the field. And Fred, you can only beat the horse so many times here, but the penalty issue is going to be one that Doug Marrone is going to have up on Monday when the players come back to work after a day off tomorrow.
Oh, Brian, without a doubt. Again, Coach Marrone, he's all about mental toughness. You got to be a smart player that's been mentally tough. You got to be extremely disciplined. And this game didn't necessarily show that. They're playing hard, but they hadn't played discipline.
All right, let's check in with Ashlyn Sullivan, who has the head coach right now. Ashlyn?
Coach, you said all week this Jaguars offense was going to be tested against the #1 defense in the league last year. What did you see out of their performance?
Well, I think, early on, first thing overall, the team, the penalties, on the touchdown drive that we did have, we overcame a bunch of 2nd and longs, and then right here going in, we would have had a chance to score, but then the penalty came, so we got to do a better job of that, from an offensive standpoint. Defensively, I think we did a good job, especially on 3rd down, but I still think, we had some things fitted up right. We missed some tackles. We got to improve on that. And then, special teams, we had the penalty on the return. So really right now it's just the penalties. Defense did a good job. We turned it over. They were able to get the ball back. That was a big point in the game. And, we just got to play well, and we got to play within the rules and, give ourselves a chance.
Thank you, Coach. Back up to you guys.
All right, Ashlyn, thanks. 4 penalties for 40 yards on the offense, 3 on the defense, 3 on the special teams. So a penalty-filled first half, but the Jaguars did overcome and score and lead 7-3 over the Vikings. Halftime is next here from Minneapolis. Back after this. And so here's the kickoff to begin the second half. And Jadon Mickens is coming out of the end zone. And with some nifty moves, he crosses the 20 and then does a somersault towards the 25. And we'll check in with Brent Martineau on the Jaguars sidelines. Brent?
Before the last possession of the first half, Blake Bortles was done. Cody Kessler was warming up to go in the game. But once Doug Marrone saw there was a 2-minute situation, he put Blake Bortles back out there because you don't get too much practice at that. That's usually reserved for the 3rd preseason game if you're lucky. So Bortles went back out on the field. Obviously, the Jags could not cash in, but here comes Cody Kessler now to start the second half. Had a good debut a week ago for the Jags.
He sure did. DJ Chark's in motion here on 1st and 10 near the 25-yard line. Brandon Wild's looking for room up the middle. Shifts his hips, gets back to the center of the field, and pushes forward for a 9-yard pickup.
Brian, that was a really tough run by Brandon Wiles up front, but even better job by the O-line of creating space for him.
You like those 9-yard pickups on first down? What else can you do?
The center and the 2 guards moving forward, I love them.
2nd and 1. The playbook's wide open. 2 tight ends in the game, O'Shaughnessy and Koyak. Pressure coming, and Kessler turns and fires. Boom! I mean, that was right out of the rifle barrel for a first down. Dante Moncrief's got it. Out across the 40-yard line to the 42. 8-yard pickup.
Pretty good job by the offensive line adjusting to the blitz off the edge.
Rashad Green checks into the ball game. Receivers are stacked tight to the tackles here on 1st and 10. Good protection. Kessler shuffles his feet, dumps it off short, and it's a short gain for Brandon Wiles, who was up under near the 44.
Pass is caught by Brandon Wiles, tackled by Brandon.
2-yard pickup, 2nd and 8. Opening minutes, 3rd quarter at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. 2 teams that spent the offseason wondering what if. The Vikings lost in the NFC Championship game. The Jaguars, as you know, the AFC Championship game. Here's Kessler on 2nd down. Blitz coming. Quick drop. He can't avoid the pressure. He faked the handoff to Wiles, but there was just no way he was getting away from Wilson, the blitzing linebacker.
No, there, Brian, I think Cody, he expected the receivers to probably run a hot route right there. Because usually what you will have is, if you're going to have the running back fake the blitz, excuse me, the receiver has to run a short route if someone's coming off the edge. Just some simple miscommunication.
And so Eric Wilson sets up 3rd and 16 with his sack of Cody Kessler. Kessler hit from behind again. This is going to be a low hit on the quarterback and a 15-yard penalty against the Vikings. Ifeadi Odenigbo apparently got around Josh Wells, the left tackle, and went into the legs of Kessler from behind.
Holding by the offense in the 75. There is no foul for roughing the passer because the defender was held into the quarterback. 10-yard penalty. Correction. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
You can freeze it right here. So here you have the holding right here. There's the holding right there, excuse me. Now here's the low hit down below. It's just not a good situation to be in, no matter how you look at it.
So Logan
on offense
will punt. 8-yard loss. And Cook gets off a high hanging. Punt. This one offers a little bit of room for return, not a lot. Vikings take over at their own 30 when we return to Minneapolis right after this. Welcome back to Minneapolis. The Jaguars lead 7-3 over the Vikings with 11:57 to play in the 3rd quarter of preseason game number 2. Lots of changes up front. We'll tell you about that. But first, think about bringing your team to see our team. There's no better way to enjoy the Jags than with a group of your friends. Groups of 10 or more can take advantage of discounted rates and preferred seating. Learn more by visiting jaguars.com/group tickets for complete details. Hunter Dimmick is in there up front. Silver Salaga, Michael Bennett, all getting their turn out on the field, along with Carroll Phillips up front. Handoff running left. The Vikings pushing for room out across the 35 near the 37. Pickup of 5 yards.
32, Ron Thomas, the ball carrier. Brought down by Silver Salinga.
Salinga, that big body that was signed after camp began, chased the play down from behind. Noteworthy because he's 6'2" and nearly 350 pounds. 2 backs now.
Brian, I want to keep an eye on the linebackers. at this point in the game.
Here's Thomas again over the left side. And he's out shy of the 40-yard line, but across the 39. Give him 2. It'll set up 3rd down. Why are you watching the linebackers, Fred? Who are you looking at?
You know, usually the tendency is for young guys to come in a bit undisciplined, to overrun the play, which will lead for some cutbacks for the running back. But in these particular plays, that was a good job fighting off the offensive lineman there and getting in front, making the tackle.
Jaguars showing blitz. Pressing with the corners. Myrick and Herndon are pressed up. There's a throw, and it's off the fingertips of the intended target. Trey Herndon was in coverage on Kendall Wright. Incomplete, and the Vikings will punt, and it looks like we have an injured Viking down along their offensive line. And that's trouble for them because they have dealt with that.
Can I get a freeze right? We just mentioned the linebackers right here, and those young guys are penetrating very aggressively. They didn't get a whole lot of pressure, but they did get in the quarterback's vision.
You know, we talked a lot
about have someone down now.
About young corners, and Trey Herndon was out there, and he was on the slot receiver, and it looked like the young man, the undrafted rookie from Vanderbilt, was in tight coverage with a veteran who also played in Nashville, the former Titan, Kendall Wright. So we're going to watch a lot of young guys on this side of the ball. And, you know, they're trying to win backup spots along a very talented defense.
Right, and the scheme is the scheme. You know, the coaches aren't going to call anything different trying to protect those guys. On the last play, you had a situation where he mugged the linebackers in the A-gaps over the center to create the illusion of pressure for the quarterback and put those young cornerbacks up close in press coverage. He's going to force them to respond in pressure situations to see if they'll be ready for it when the live bullets fly come this fall.
Josh Andrews being helped off by the Vikings medical training staff. The storyline all week had been how injury prone the offensive line group had become. Decimated was the word that I heard describing that group through the first couple of weeks of camp, and so holding their breath on the sideline, hoping they've got enough offensive linemen to complete the preseason.
And they were without 3 starters to begin the game.
Ryan quickly to punt. Jadon Mickens used back deep to retrieve it. And he'll come get near it, let it bounce at the 24, grab it on the bounce on the sideline, and just have to step out of bounds near the 17. A 46-yard punt, a short return of only 3 yards. Timeout on the field. We'll take one ourselves. 7-3, Jaguars lead it. We're back to Minneapolis right after this.
They're leading the Vikings 7-3. Quarterback Cody Kessler and Blake Bortles were friends even before Cody Kessler came to Jacksonville. During the offseason, they trained in California together, and when Blake heard the news that Cody was coming to Jacksonville, he was one of the first ones to text Blake and say congrats and welcome. Cody has told us many times that Blake has been extremely available to him, always giving him advice, and it shows Blake's leadership role, guys.
Thanks, Ashlyn. TJ Yeldon takes the handoff from Cody and goes for about 5 across the 23 to the 24-yard line. And Kessler told us how glad he was to be in Jacksonville. A year ago, he was a backup on a Browns team that didn't win a game. And to step into this environment with a team that expects to win every week, he said it's been energizing. And the fact that he gets to be with his friend Bortles has made it more fun. Play action. Cody shuffles his feet, turns and throws the ball, and he finds Rashad Green, who makes the catch coming across the field and is out of bounds at the 43. There is, however, a flag down back in the backfield. Nice job by Kessler to keep the play alive, but this one's
holding by the offense, number 24. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
12 penalties now.
Here we have TJ Yeldon on a very good play action fake. Now, I thought it was a good job of him buttoning up the defender. The blitzer right there. Just got his left arm in a little bit too long. Fairly decent job of a call by the ref.
2nd and 15, the line of scrimmage, the 14-yard line. 9:38 counting, 3rd quarter. The Jaguars up 7-3. Kessler with the waist tie snap, stands in the pocket, throws to Yeldon. Yeldon coming across the fields, across the 25, makes a man miss, stays on his feet, and reaches for the first down near the 29-yard line. It's a gain of almost 15. We'll see where they spot it, if he gets the first down or not.
Here, freeze right here. Here you have T.J. Yeldon on the free release. He's going to run an angle route underneath. Good job by Yeldon. Great hands. He's always been a back that can catch it out of the backfield. Sweet redemption to get the team to 3rd and short.
They gave him a first down. First and
down.
10.
Oh, great.
At the 29-yard line. Here's the handoff to Yeldon again, going over the left side. He's out across the 30 to about the 32. Gain of 3.
Brian, I really think the offensive coordinator, Hackett, is doing a great job in their personnel grouping. We go from 11 personnel, which is 3 wide receivers, 1 back. This last set, there were 22 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 backs, to show strong power running.
Yeah, the question that I had was, if Leonard wasn't on the field, could they maintain that smash mouth personality that they established last year? If you don't have 2 Leonards, how do you keep playing it? But Yeldon's really impressed them. There's a beautiful throw right to DJ Chark. Good coverage. I mean, boy, when it left his hand, there were as many purple shirts as whites, but it was right into Chark's breadbasket. He just couldn't hold on.
Usually you call that a distraction drill. Here you have the defender jumping. His hands got in the way. Probably just distracted Chark just a little bit for him to take his eyes off of it.
3rd down
Got
and
to
7.
secure that catch, though.
You bet. Although Kessler told us he's got a lot of confidence.
Of course.
In Chark. They've worked together a lot this summer, and he sees a guy whose arrow is pointing straight up. Jags just 1 of 8 on 3rd down. Here's Kessler. And he'll turn and throw it in the direction of Chark. And Chark got tied up with the cornerback, couldn't get back to it. Incomplete. The Jaguars' struggles on 3rd down continue. And here comes Logan Cook to punt.
The Vikings did a pretty solid job in coverage here. Just a big zone, 2 deep right there. Nothing underneath. They're not giving up the deep ball. Again, just a pretty solid coverage by the Vikings defense. Nowhere to go with it.
So here's the 5th punt of the ball game for the rookie from Mississippi State. 3 of those 4 have been over 50 yards. This one will be fielded at about the 23-yard line. And the Jaguars get him to the ground. That's Leon Jacobs. We're back to Minneapolis after this on the Jaguars Television Network. Jaguars on top of the Vikings at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, 7-3. Leon Jacobs just made a great play on special teams.
Yeah, Brian, here he is lined up at the guard position here on the punt team. And in talking to him yesterday, he said his motivation was to be the best and not be a liability to this team. But here on special teams, he's shown you that he's not a liability when he made that tackle.
Simeon stays in at quarterback here. And it's play action. The pressure coming. He steps to avoid. Sets up Rock Thomas with room to run on the screen. He's across the 35, headed for the 40. And the Jaguars still don't get him down before he reaches for the 42. An 11-yard pickup.
Yeah, you have young defensive line up front. Here's just a simple screen play by the Vikings, and these guys thought they had a blitz. You had Herndon coming off the nickel, and he's a young guy. He'll see that more and more. He'll be able to retrace and make that play.
1st and 10, the Vikings at their own 42-yard line now, rolling out. There's a quick throw to the tight end. In coverage, Donald Payne misses him and then trails him to make the stop shy of midfield. Donald Payne makes the stop at the 49. Seven-yard pickup sets up 2nd down and 3.
Payne is a guy who's trying to show and convince the coaches that there will be depth at the linebacker position.
Corners are pressed here in short yardage, 2nd down 3.
Jaguars in run defense, single high, 8 in the box.
And a move to the outside, and a nice one at that. Look at Rock Thomas spinning through the arms of the defender down to the 36. C.J. Revis will get credit for the tackle.
And again, this is just defense where here you have Payne on the outside. You see your guard go down. You got to jump outside right there. He lost contain, allowed Thomas to outside and to gain a long run. He has to be a little bit more disciplined in his reads.
1st and 10. Vikings to the Jaguars 36-yard line. BB in motion. And here's the handoff. And there's Boone trying to get outside. And he breaks a tackle and another and pushes forward. And is finally brought down near the 27-yard line.
Brian, I like this Mike Boone, but he's testing our defense's discipline right here again. Payne, defensive end. You can't allow those guys to get outside.
He got through Quentin Meeks.
As they say, do your job. Your assignment is to maintain, contain outside. Do not allow the running back outside.
Gain of 9, 2nd and 1. Here's Boone again and room to run. He runs through one defender and he's on his way to the end zone and pulled down at the 1. A great cutback. And Mike Boone is set up 1st and goal for the Vikings.
He's not a big guy, but he's built really well like a rock. Again, just lack of discipline by the defensive front. You have Payne on the run blitz. He overran it. Cut back by Boone. Easy play for the running back.
Here's 1st and goal. The ball just outside the 1-yard line. And here's Boone bottled up, spinning and reaching. And he gets to the end zone.
Job well done by the Vikings up front. Their offensive line had double team. They was able to push the Jags off the ball just enough to allow Boone enough space to get in the end zone.
The Vikings reclaim the lead, 9-7. They'll send their rookie kicker, Daniel Carlson, from Auburn out to try the extra point with 4:23 to play in the 3rd quarter here at U.S. Bank Stadium. And he got it. 10-3. Vikings lead. And we're back to Minneapolis for more Jaguars preseason football in just a moment.
Welcome back to U.S. Bank Stadium, where the Vikings are leading the Jaguars 10-7. It's all about new experiences here for the Jaguars today. Their first time playing at U.S. Bank Stadium, and their first time hearing that Gallahorn that you just heard on the Vikings touchdown. Because of all these new experiences, Jaguars head coach Doug Marrone decided to bring his team here for walkthroughs yesterday. Just to get settled, get a lay of the land, find the locker room. Now looking back, that seems like a great decision because, Brian, it is really easy to get lost in here.
You bet it is. And it's really easy to hear that horn when things are going well for the Vikings. They play it all the time. Jadon Mickens at the back of the end zone, stepped out. He wanted to run, but the official was right there, so it's a touchback. And the Jaguars trail 10-7 and take over with 4:23 left to play in the 3rd.
That's a great kick by the Vikings. Here you see Mickens backing up. That right foot just on the white chalk.
All right.
It's a little deep.
TJ Yeldon in the ball game, along with a couple guys whose time with the offensive line included the 1st quarter. Josh Wells is out there. Yeldon and O'Shaughnessy, the offset eye. Here's the handoff. And Yeldon picks up 5.
The Jaguars are saying they want to play a little smash mouth of their own.
Yeldon averaging just about 4 yards per carry. That was his 9th of the ball game for 35 yards. DJ Chark and Rashad Green are split. Yeldon takes the handoff again. Fighting and pushing and shoving. Across the 29, maybe just shy of the first down. Sorry, 34. And he needs about the length of a football for a first down. Jaguars 1 of 9 on third down today. Kessler crouches under center, hands it off to Brandon Wilds. He stutter stepped at the 34, and extra effort probably got him across. And they are moving the chains, first down Jacksonville. Wilds is a big kid now. He comes in at 6 foot 220 pounds.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure right here the coach is going to tell him just stay right there in the A gap and try to beat that outside defender to the interior there. Second effort seems to have gotten the first down.
Wild stays in the ball game. Near the 36-yard line. Kessler with a quick throw. And the connection is made out to about the 42, the 43-yard line. Shane Wynn makes the catch. And all he does whenever he's on the field is make it difficult for these coaches. Because just when you think you know who your top 5 receivers are, Shane Wynn comes in and says, do not forget about me.
You can't leave him out, Brian. Cannot count him out. He's a playmaker.
5'7" with a huge heart. Kessler with time to throw. Steps, turns, and throws, and this one is caught.
Wow.
Nope. Wynn lost it as he went to the ground. Well out of bounds. He had his hands on it. Couldn't hold on.
A good route by Wynn right here. Nice release, nice outside stick. You got to bring that down. Good play by the defense. Tough catch by Wynn. You got to try your best to bring it down. Amazing ball by Kessler.
Cody 4 of 7 for 31 yards here in the second half.
Very good accuracy right there, Brian.
Chark, Wynn, Green, Paul. The receivers across the formation for Kessler.
Vikings showing pressure. They fall out of it.
Kessler turns and finds Niles Paul, and Paul has enough yardage for a first down to about the 46-yard line. Move the chains. Back-to-back third down conversions for the Jaguars, something that had not happened in the ball game. They were just 2 of 10. Now they're 3 of 11. Jaguars bring in a couple of tight ends. (10-7) Minnesota leads. Coming to the end of the third quarter. Jaguars driving. Cody Kessler crouches under his center. It's a toss sweep to Wilds. Following big blockers. Looks for the cutback. Probably a little too soon, Fred. No room there.
Yeah, you want to try your best to allow the play to develop front side. But if you see the defenders pursuing real fast to the sideline, you want to put your foot in, get north, and get as much as you can get. Not a bad run. Not a bad run.
But he did have 3 big white shirts in front of him. Tommy Bohannon checks into the ball game as the fullback. And here's the handoff to Corey Grant. His first action. And he crosses midfield to about the 49. Gain of about 4 yards. And it'll bring up third down and 5.
That doesn't look like much from here, Brian, but those 4-yard gains are a lot.
Heading to the sideline because they will not have to run a play as the third quarter comes to a close. The Vikings lead the Jaguars 10-7 here at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. But the Jaguars will have 3rd and 5 at the 49 of Minnesota to open the fourth quarter. So plenty of opportunity for Doug Marrone's football team here in Minnesota. And we're back with more preseason action after this. Jaguars football is brought to you by TIAA Bank. Created to serve, built to perform. And Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Tonight's drive of the game is brought to you by Geico. Visit 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. And this is our drive of the game. Malik Jackson strips the ball out, and Blake Bortles starts a 12-play drive to the end zone.
Yeah, nice screen right there by T.J. Yeldon. Here you have Blake Bortles stepping up in the pocket and doing what he does best with that big frame, getting it down to the one. And there you have Leonard Fournette capping the drive off with a 1-yard touchdown on 4th and goal.
Jaguars have controlled the clock for 28 minutes and 20 seconds with their offense and run 55 offensive plays. We start the 4th quarter here in Minneapolis with the Jaguars trailing 10-7 and facing 3rd and 5 at the Vikings 49. The Jaguars have converted their last 2 third downs. Cody Kessler.
The Vikings are showing pressure. Kessler is pointing out the routes he should pick up.
Slings the ball, and it is caught. Where he caught it is to be determined, but DJ Chark, with those long arms and big hands, appears to have crossed the 44 and have a first down.
Up top here you have Chark with a nice 5-yard hitch route. I'm sure the coaches want him to just come back to the ball a little bit more, but his awareness showed him to get past the 3rd down marker and execute, make the first down.
3 consecutive 3rd down conversions now. Opening minute, 4th quarter, Jaguars trail by a field goal. Kessler in the shotgun, looks left all the way, finds Brandon Wilds out of the backfield. He is up inside the 40-yard line and down to near the 38 in Minnesota territory. Give him a gain of 6.
We asked Kessler about his confidence. He said he never lost it. Despite all the competition from USC and in Cleveland, he never once lost his confidence.
And that's saying something about how mentally tough the guy is.
Saying a ton.
As Deshaun Kaiser was struggling, the rookie quarterback in Cleveland last year through that 0-16 season, he kept thinking, my turn will come. It never did. But he's thankful to be in Jacksonville now, and he goes back to Chark. And Chark has a gain of 11 to the 33-yard line and another Jacksonville first down.
And he also said that he loved being in there with guys like Chark. It's a good, quick 3-step drop. Get the ball out quick to Chark. Allow him to get upfield. One ankle away from running down the sideline.
Kessler's shown us a really nice arm.
Oh, yeah.
He'll deliver a quick, precise pass on time.
Stronger, more confidence in his arm because of his lower body.
Here's 1st and 10. He pulls it back now, scrambles to the outside, and simply throws the ball away.
And I think we might have holding out here on the defense against defending Brandon Wilds.
There is a flag down at the 13-yard line.
Let's see what they call.
The quarterback was out of the pocket and reached the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. Therefore, there is no intentional grounding. Before the quarterback left the pocket, illegal contact by the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
So move the ball to the 28-yard line. It's 1st and 10 again for the Jaguars. Kessler's got one back. It's Corey Grant. Scott Orndorff, the tight end, slides in motion. Kessler with time in the pocket. Now he's going to scramble to the outside, looking down the field, caught from behind, and dropped near the 33. Odenigbo, the big defensive tackle, got him.
Pretty good coverage right there by the Vikings secondary. There you have the left end right here on the top of the screen. He just continues to hustle and come all the way around. There he has the sack on Kessler.
So it's 2nd and 15 now. Chark and Wynn are his receivers. Brandon Wilds It's 4 of it back to set up 3rd down and 11. Third down, the Jaguars have converted their last 3. This one's a little more challenging, 3rd down and 10. Spread things out. Tight end in the wing to the right. 3 receivers for Kessler, who runs in the shotgun. Pressure coming, and he's going to get sacked. No time to react. The pressure came.
Freeze it, guys, right here. Right here. Here, Brandon Wiles, he steps up to take the blitz. Kessler, he has to reshuffle this right here, but that was a simple screen play, so he has to get that out as fast as he can. If he had gotten it off, I believe that would have been a touchdown. Usually you love screens into a blitz because there's nobody left to defend behind it.
Wilds had some room to run. Here's Cook kicking the end of the ball, which sets up a fair catch back inside the 10. 10-7, Vikings lead. They've got the ball when we return to US Bank Stadium in just a moment. 10-7, Jaguars trail the Vikings. 11 minutes to play in the ball game in Minneapolis. Time now for the VyStar Credit Union out-of-town scoreboard. We're the early game today. You can see plenty more football for you on a Saturday in August, including 2 inside the AFC South. Tennessee hosting Tampa Bay, Houston, San Francisco. VyStar Credit Union proudly serving our members since 1952. Visit VyStarCU.org. Thomas, the halfback, new quarterback in the ball game, is Kyle Slaughter. And the handoff to Thomas, and he's caught from behind. It's out near the 10-yard line for a 1-yard pickup. Carroll Phillips chased the play down from behind.
I believe the Jaguars defense, it's a must that they come out and be more disciplined and play their lane and gap integrity more so than they did last series when the Vikings had the ball.
Slaughter, the quarterback, second-year man out of Northern Colorado, lines up with 2 backs and the tight end left. Play action, Slaughter rolling out to his left, under pressure, throws this one, finds a target at the 20-yard line for a Minnesota 1st down. He found the tight end Tyler Conklin. Another injured Viking. Could be David Morgan. And let's check it on the sidelines with Brent Martineau.
Guys, Jalen Myrick is a bit of a homecoming for him as he attended the University of Minnesota for 4 years, 2013 to 2017. Jags 7th-round draft pick a year ago. He can flat out fly, by the way, 4.2840 at the combine, the fastest in 2017. But the Jaguars did a walkthrough a couple days at the University of Minnesota as well, and Myrick was able to go back to the university. And for the record, he has never had a Juicy Lucy burger, which is a thing here in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
In Minneapolis.
We'll be back. This is the Jaguars
television. 10-7. Vikings lead the Jaguars here in the 4th quarter. And they've got it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Cedric Lang was the injured Viking, taking off on a cart. So it's 2 backup offensive linemen that they have lost here in the second half. Slaughter under pressure, sets up the screen. Rock Thomas makes the catch. Donald Payne makes him pay. Drops him for a 5-yard loss.
Here at the Jaguars in man coverage. Blitz off the edge. Job well done by Donald Payne to read out the screen and make the tackle.
2nd and 14. They put him down at the 16.
Looks like the exact same defense.
Tight end in motion. Here's play action, rolling out right. Slaughter looking down the field as pressure comes, turns and fires for an intended target, but could not connect. with his receiver. Nice coverage by Jalen Myrick over there on Caleb Jones. Sets up 3rd down and 14 for the young quarterback of the Vikings' 16-yard line. It doesn't matter what the outcome of this game is, Fred, but boy, the Jags would sure like a chance to win one late. Kind of like the Saints did to them last week.
Yes, and Coach Marone, he said his biggest takeaway from last week was finish. You got to find a way to finish the game.
Vikings 0 of 7 on 3rd down here in the ball game. 1 back, 3 receivers. And the play clock ran out.
Delay game. Offense number 1. 5 yards till 3rd down.
So 3rd down and 19. We saw Tanner Lee last week, the youngster on the Jaguars side, struggle a bit in the 4th quarter. We're watching another young quarterback struggle. 4 receivers for Slaughter.
Jaguars, 2 safeties up top. They're playing deep.
Quick throw on the slant. Receiver makes the catch, and he is caught between 2 defenders. C.J. Revis and Jalen Myrick. A flag is thrown. I'm wondering if this is lowering the helmet, which we've seen twice before in this ball game. Hockley and his officials huddling up across the 30-yard line. The Jaguars stopped the receiver right near the marker. And the receiver is being tended to.
You know, it looked like a clean hit there by the safety, Wilson.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Hit against a defenseless receiver, number 26 defense. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play as the pass was complete. 1st down.
Tough call, but.
And again, what I meant by clean hit, I was taking the helmet-to-helmet rule out of the equation. But again, here Wilson, you know, he's trying to make sure the receiver doesn't break the tackle. It's a really tough call. This crew, as you can see from the beginning of the game, they've called several unsportsmanlike calls throughout the day. You know, they pretty much set the tone and say, look, we're not tolerating this. I want you guys to keep it as clean as possible. And Wilson got his shoulder in there.
Here's the thing. Are you supposed to go low? That's really the interesting part here.
You can't go low with the helmet rule.
Not with the helmet. But
correct.
Do you want Jalen Myrick to go below the waist there? I can tell you the receivers don't want him to go below the waist. They don't want to have their legs taken out from underneath them.
And again, if he catches that ball on the skinny post there and the corner misses the tackle, and if the safety Wilson, if he doesn't hit him, then that's a big play for the receiver.
Stephon Diggs said it the other day after practice. He would rather take the shot up top than have his legs taken out below. But that, by the way, walked off the field.
Correct.
Here's 1st and 10. Vikings at their own 39. And the handoff to Boone. Baker County High School. Crosses the 40 and picks up 3, maybe 4 yards. Under 9 to play in the ball game here at US Bank Stadium. Been a good week. Jaguars have been here practicing against the Vikings.
And it's preseason, Brian. And again, I think the refs are trying to set the tone in what they're going to call this year. I doubt they call that in the regular season, but this is why we're in the preseason. Everybody has an opportunity to work out their kinks and get in mid-season form.
They're sending Boone to the sideline. Vikings send in a replacement. It'll be 2nd down and 7. But a lot of good work done on the practice field down in Eagan, Minnesota, where the Vikings have a brand new practice facility. Sensational facility. So win or lose, it's been a productive week. Here's a quick throw by Slaughter and a nice open field tackle made by Trey Herndon, who we're seeing in a lot of nickel situations today. He played outside a week ago, but today is getting chances to play both. Jaguars like this young man, undrafted out of Vanderbilt.
He did a really good job on an open field tackle by a small cornerback. It doesn't get any harder. He made it look easy.
So here's 3rd down and 6 for the Vikings. at their own 43. Slaughter in the shotgun, sends a pass in the direction of Beebe. Incomplete, and the Vikings will punt.
Very good job by the Jaguars defense in disguising the blitz from the top, from the weak side, forcing the quarterback to get the ball out rather quickly. You have the blitz coming from the top, Meyer right there, just forcing the quarterback to throw into his hot read. Very good coverage by Payne.
Shane Wynn getting an opportunity to return this punt. Ryan Quigley will kick it from around the 33-yard line. And Wynn drifts across the field to collect it at the 10. With blockers in front, plants a foot at the 15 and the 20. And he's pulled down right there. 10-7, Vikings lead it. 7.5 to play here in Minneapolis. You're watching the Jaguars Television Network.
Welcome back to US Bank Stadium, where the Vikings are leading the Jags 10-7. This week's TIAA Bank Community Champion is none other than quarterback Blake Bortles. Bortles Foundation partners with the Arc of Jacksonville, which serves people with intellectual and developmental difficulties. He funded 19 scholarships to help develop life skills with the Arc of Jacksonville. Bortles Foundation also serves first responders and firefighters. He says he's looked up to them his entire life. Thanks, Blake, for making a difference, and don't forget, we'll celebrate fans all season long. You can see their stories live on game days at TIAA Bank.
Thanks, Ashlyn. Cody Kessler connects with Shane Wynn for a short game. And the Jaguars face 2nd down and 7. Get our first look at Will Richardson, the Jaguars' 4th-round pick. He's the right tackle now out of North Carolina State. A guy the Jaguars really want to see, but he's had some nagging injuries through camp that have had him working off to the side like he was here on Wednesday. Here's the handoff to Wilds, finding room, breaking free, crossing the 30-yard line and getting a Jacksonville first down.
It was a good job right there by Kessler, staying with the run and running away from the blitz. Double team, 2 double teams. Good job by Wilds of finding the lane and getting tough yards.
8-yard pickup. Jaguars have 1st and 10 at the 30. The big back. He is big. Over 220 pounds. Quick drop. Kessler looks left, turns and fires the pass. And Rashad Green makes the catch, giving 4 to the 34-yard line. So you look and you see Josh Walker out there. Casey McDermott. William Pales, who plays right tackle, now getting some time at left tackle. Jaguars offensive line getting plenty of work among the 2nd and 3rd units. And here's play action to Corey Grant. A quick throw to Grant with the burst of speed. He's up the sideline with a first down and more. Out of bounds near midfield. They'll put him at the 49 on the Jacksonville side of the field. So that's a gain of 15 yards. The speed of Corey Grant is just electrifying to watch.
Very much so. Very much. His speed is definitely tremendous, Brian. Here he is on a simple play action fake outside. Listen, Brian, when I tell you, I really think he was cold. He's been on the sideline a bit throughout this afternoon. If he had been, playing some, I think he'd been warming up to outrun that guy.
He may turn the corner and get there as Kessler watches the linebacker turn the corner and get there for a sack. And a flag thrown in the mix from Hockley. They're going to get the Vikings for lowering the head. That is coming. Antoine Williams. Got there, you see.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer by the defense, number 56. Landing with his body weight on the quarterback. 15 yards, automatic, first down.
I thought he lowered his head, Fred, but they're getting him for driving him into the ground.
Yeah, I
Form
think
tackle.
Right there at the very end.
Boy,
the extra with the shoulder to his chest is probably what they got him for. Again, this crew set the tone, Brian. Yeah. They told you from early on in the game when they called a holding on Patman to start the game and holding on Lorente McCray on the punt return that they weren't going to tolerate.
That just looks like football to me, Fred, but
it looks
not
like
to
football. It definitely looks like football.
It benefits the Jaguars, though, with 5 minutes to play, trailing 10-7. Here's a handoff and not a lot of room. Wilds couldn't get free. Give him 2, maybe 3, inside the 35-yard line.
Wilds is a kid who shows some patience. A big kid, but it seems that he shows pretty good patience right there on that last run.
DeAndre Smelter checks into the ball game. Corners are pressed. Kessler back to throw. Looks left, comes back, and throws it in the general direction of Rashad Green, but he was well covered. Incomplete. 3rd down and 7 for the Jaguars.
Yeah, Brian, we're talking about the hardest thing for rookies to do when they come in the NFL is blitz pickup. Here you have Brandon Wilds. That 38 of this guy, he missed the pickup, ended up getting a shot on Kessler.
So 3rd and 7. Jaguars have converted 4 of 13 on 3rd down today.
You got to be able to pass protect if you want to play in this league as a running back.
Casey McDermott, the rookie free agent guard from Miami jumped.
Full start by the offense, number 75. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
13th penalty of the ball game. 140 yards marked against the Jaguars. Not that we haven't talked about that the whole game.
Yeah, Casey McDermott, he just has to try his best to sit in there in the pressure situation. It's getting crunch time, and as you said, Coach Marone, he wants to see if his team can finish.
If they get no more yardage here, it's a 55-yard field goal. And we saw Josh Lambo miss from 56. Kessler fighting the crowd noise, under pressure, is hit as he throws. Incomplete. Odenibo, the defensive tackle, got there and made the stop.
Yeah, here you have Minnesota with a single blitz. Nice job at blitz pickup by Wilds right there on that play. But again, Odenibo with the pressure and the sack for the Vikings.
They're not going to try a long field goal. They'll send Logan Cook out to try to pin the Vikings deep and take their chances.
I think it's a good call, Brian. The Vikings are 0-3 on 3rd down, so hopefully they can get a 3-and-out here.
How about this? Jadon Mickens just caught the punt from Logan Cook at the 7-yard line. That is excellent execution by Jody Camillus' special teams. And you know, Doug Marone told us last night that the best thing about this week was they got twice the work on special teams that they could get during a normal practice.
Of course, exactly. With such a talented receiving core, you're going to have guys like Mickens, Rashad Green, Wynn. Good job right there by Jadon. But these guys, Brian, they're going to have to show that they can do more than just catch a ball on the offense or return a punt. You're going to have to cover some punts.
Find a roll. Here's Boone trying to get to the outside. Looked like a holding penalty should have been called there. It's pretty obvious, but obviously not to Sean Hockley. They've been throwing the flag the rest of the day. Why not there? And we have an injured Viking down at the 15-yard line on the Jaguars side of the field. Boone from Baker County got to the outside. I don't call penalties from here very often, but when I see a guy's body jerked, watch right there. Darius Jackson.
Definitely a hole right there.
Pretty obvious to see. And the down man is Johnny Stanton, who got rolled up upon. Well, show your Jaguars pride. Purchase your Jaguars Collector's Cup featuring your favorite players from any participating gate location. Just 99 cents, but only for a limited time. That Vikings card has been out on the field all day long. A couple of backup offensive linemen to an already thin group. When you see them pull the red bag out, the red bag is the air splint. And when you see the red bag out and you see the kind of injury where he got rolled up, you think maybe he's broken his leg. They've got a pump. They're going to put it on there and fill it up. At least that's probably what they think at this point. Whether it is or not will be something they'll look at an x-ray. Jaguars have one injury of note in this ball game. Brent Martineau told us in the first half that Brandon Linder was being evaluated for a knee. And we think that he suffered that on Leonard Fournette's 1-yard touchdown plunge. We'll obviously update you in the postgame with any information we get about the Jaguars' injuries as they help Stanton onto the cart. But that's the third Vikings player who has been carted off the field today.
Yeah, Brian, these are just young guys trying their best. They're out there hustling, moving around, flying around, trying to make a roster, finding a way to, earn a living. And you don't want to see this.
Stanton, a rookie free agent from UNLV. Thumbs up to the crowd as he is carted underneath the stadium. State-of-the-art stadium, state-of-the-art medical facility here. They'll get a good look at him. 3:57 remains. 10-3 Vikings lead.
That's why in this business, Brian, it's the next man up. You have to be ready.
Slaughter has Boone in the backfield from his own 14-yard line. And here's Boone hitting the backfield, bottled up, but manages to spin out of the tackle of C.J. Rivas and push the pile across the 17-yard line. That's a first down for the Vikings.
That was a good attempt and tackle right there by C.J. Rivas deep in the backfield. I think they did a really good job of communicating and shifting the defense as the Vikings made their shift.
Vikings spread it out. They've got Boone in the backfield. BB slides in motion. Slaughter hands it off to Boone, running right, tries to reverse his field, breaks one tackle, but loses his footing as he tried to get balance back, and he's covered up quickly by Carroll Phillips.
Timeout, Jacksonville. Their first of the half. 30-second timeout.
It'll be 2nd and 11, and so Doug Marrone uses the first of his 3 times out. Trying a little clock management. They'll also have the 2-minute warning.
Brian, I think it's safe to say you'll see that Boone kid on somebody's roster this year.
Yeah, he's a North Florida kid. Played collegiately at Cincinnati. And, we're way up here near the top of the stadium. It doesn't look like he's a terribly big kid, but he plays like one from where we're sitting. 2nd down and 11. 2:41 remains. Vikings on top, 10-7 in the fourth quarter here.
Jaguars press man coverage.
Hand off to Boone, looking to find some room to the outside, and he is caught. Salinga holding on, pulling Boone to the ground,
Timeout,
and the Jaguars will burn another one.
Second of the half. It's a 30-second timeout.
2:36 remains. Jaguars have been here all week. They'll go home and have all week to get ready for the Falcons next Saturday. That's a 7 o'clock evening kickoff. Doug Marrone said to us yesterday he wouldn't mind moving that to a 1 o'clock kickoff. Kind of likes this. Jaguars have only played 3 1 o'clock kickoffs in the preseason in their history. And one of them was the very first game in the Hall of Fame way back in 1995. Also, we'll be in Tampa on the final Thursday of August to wrap up the preseason. Here's 3rd and 10. Slaughter slides a man in motion. Hands it off to Boone. Stutter step, looking for room up the middle, pushing and shoving. Finally, the Jaguars get him to the ground. Near the 23-yard line, they'll burn their last timeout.
Their 3rd and final of the half. 30-second timeout.
With 2:31 to play, get the ball back and have the 2-minute warning. So we'll see Cody Kessler with an opportunity to create something in a hurry-up drill. And if you're standing on that sideline, the coaches are probably pretty excited to get a 2-minute drill with some of their backups.
Of course, they want to see what those guys can do. They prepped those situations throughout camp this entire summer. I'm pretty sure they're excited about this opportunity for Kessler. And just really quick, Brian, just going back to the Falcons game for next week. Having Ramsey return, the starters will play a lot more next week in the third preseason game. That matchup against Julio Jones, if Julio plays, I'm pretty sure that'll be good work for Ramsey.
I'm pretty sure that'll be good viewing.
Oh, yeah.
For us in the audience. Rashad Green is back to retrieve this quickly punt. It's a high-hanging one. Green gets underneath it, shy of the 25, headed to the near sideline, trying to evade defenders. And he's down near the 24. There is a flag at about the 32-yard line in front of the Vikings bench. Commonplace today. Flags all over the field from the start to the finish of this one.
Usually this is a call against the gunner when it's that close to the sideline. Could be a sideline infraction where he just ran out of bounds.
And the first person.
Number 46 of the kicking team went out of bounds on his own. This 5-yard penalty will be enforced at the previous spot. We'll replay 4th down.
So they make him repunt.
Here he is down here to the bottom of the screen. He'll probably just take a clean release and run out of bounds right here. See his foot?
Yep.
About quite a few steps out of bounds before he attempted to get back in.
Didn't look like he had any clue.
They'll definitely remind him, though, in the meetings this week.
You think? What's a Monday morning meeting like after a game that didn't go well for you? Not that you had many of those.
Very somber mood.
Somber on the part of the players.
Definitely on the part of the coaches as well. Trying to find a way to correct it and get back out there really quickly. Try to erase that feeling and get a win.
Here's Quigley. Ooh, looked like it was tipped. Rashad Green's got it at the 40, evades one defender. Now running back, reversing his field. He's got a wall of white shirts and room to run. If the Jaguars can get a couple of blocks here, Rashad Green could give him a chance to win the ball game. He's still on his feet at the 5 and down at the 4. Under pressure, a 42-yard punt, but a 57-yard return, and it's 1st and goal, Jacksonville.
All right, here again, here you have Green receiving it on the right-hand side. They had a wall set up to the left. Just look at this convoy. He has about 5 guys out there in front of him blocking. Showing extreme patience right here. Try to cut back inside, get tripped up, tackle right there on the 3-yard line. Put the team in position to win it.
He's done it before. And Rashad Green fighting for a roster spot as a receiver. Just gave us the best punt return of the preseason. 1st and goal at the 4, 2:03 remains. Here's the handoff. Pushing his way is Wilds, and he's shy of the goal line following big William Pales inside the 2. We've hit the 2-minute warning. The Jaguars are in great shape. We'll see if they can convert when we return to Minneapolis. Wire takes you behind the scenes of the Jaguars. Tune in Wednesdays at 7:30 on Fox 30 or stream anytime on the Jaguars official YouTube channel. Then on Sundays, Jaguars Weekend. Catch it at 10:30 on Fox 30 on Sunday mornings in Jacksonville and on the Jaguars TV network. Check your local listings. Jaguars trail 10-7. But a 57-yard punt return from Rashad Green has given them 2nd and goal at the 1. And here's Wilds for the touchdown. Brandon Wilds has given the Jaguars the lead, 13-10 with 1:55 to play.
You have a pretty good job up front by the O-line, just pushing the pile. Wilds just off tackle. 1-yard touchdown.
Well, thanks to Rashad Green, it was only a 2-play drive that covered 4 yards, took 8 seconds, and the Jaguars are an extra point away from a 14-10 lead.
This is what Coach Marone was talking about, Brian. He wanted to see the team finish, and that's exactly what he got today.
We're going to get a chance to see the defense and see if those guys can finish, because that's something that Calais Campbell has been talking about since training camp started. Calais, where can this defense that was so good a year ago be better this year? He didn't even flinch, didn't hesitate. We need to finish. There were too many games last year that those guys felt like they had a shot. Jaguars lead 14-10. Let's take another look at Rashad Green's big moment in this ball game, big moment of preseason.
You know, just to come in there, Brian, after muffing it last week, he did a great job of securing the catch.
Jaguars fans remember a couple years ago when he set up the game-winning touchdown, much like this one against Tennessee on a Thursday night at TIAA Bank Field.
Right, and allowed a big man, Brandon Wiles, to lower his shoulder and get it in for the 1-yard run.
Green had missed 24 games the last 2 years. Had a really good offseason. Has been strong in training camp. Just made it real interesting. Lambeau's kick will bounce in the end zone and come out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings trail. They need a touchdown. They trail 1:55 remains in the ball game. They do have all 3 times out to use.
Yeah, Rashad Green had a pretty good week of practice this week. You know, he was able to get in there and have a few catches, and to come out here tonight after muffing the punt return last week and to set the team up for the go-ahead touchdown. I mean, it just says a lot about the kid. He's, like you said, Brian, battled some injuries.
Formation, number 18 of the receiving team. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced at the previous spot. We'll re-kick.
He's battled some injuries. You know, and he's a fighter, man. He's definitely a player. I'd like to see him get an opportunity to continue to show people what he's capable of.
Well, you know, you were a guy early. Your second year, you had the hamstring that cost you 6 games,
and I
right?
tore my groin completely off the bone.
Absolutely. And then you kept playing and playing and playing.
Correction. They've elected to decline the penalty. The result of the play is a touchback. First down from the 25-yard line.
Preseason for everyone.
For everybody.
But Green is a guy that just he's been forgotten, but he was thought to be a really solid slot receiver. When he was at Florida State, he got a lot of credit for being the calming influence in Jameis Winston's game. And, you know, showed us enough as a punt returner when he was on the field that you thought, well, maybe this kid can stick and be the 5th wide receiver.
Right, you have to be able to do well on special teams, and we called it yesterday, the Terrell Davis effect. You got to be able to show up on special team, play well enough to buy yourself some time.
Now, people are wondering why you would mention Terrell Davis in the same sentence with special teams, and after this play, you can explain it. There's a throw from Slaughter, and C.J. Rivas misses the tackle to Corey Robertson. It's second down out at the 30-yard line, 2nd and 5. So why Terrell Davis?
1995, Terrell's rookie year, and he's a 6th-round pick. And many people didn't expect him to go out there and become a starter. So they were over in Japan, and on the kickoff, he was on the kickoff team. He made a great tackle, and he was on the radar ever since.
He blew a guy up, didn't he? I mean, just exploded. Showed you his ability, and here is a near interception for Jalen Myrick, who saw that the ball was low and away and stepped in front of Robertson. Minnesota
Myrick here on the outside. Just a simple outside route. He noticed that the receiver didn't push off hard enough to threaten a go route. Nice job of him of breaking on that ball and nearly intercepting it.
3rd down and 5 with 1:45 left to play. 1 back, 3 receivers. Pressure coming. Slaughter hit by Trey Herndon, but gets away. Now being chased by Carroll Phillips. Nowhere to go. Turns and throws it, and it is incomplete. So 4th down and 5. As Slaughter got out. 14-10. Jaguars have just to get these Vikings off the field on 4th and 5 to claim a victory here in the preseason. Coming to Minnesota wasn't about victory. Winning was getting better.
It was always about getting better. Let's see if the Jaguars are going to get in press coverage man again. Force the Vikings to beat them.
Here's Slaughter on 4th down from the shotgun.
Nope, they changed it up and go a little zone.
Turns and throws, and this one is caught. A back shoulder throw, and Jalen Myrick could only reach his arms around Robertson at the 44-yard line. First down, Minnesota.
Timeout, Minnesota. They're first of the half.
So we're talking
timeout.
We're talking about finishing.
Yeah,
it
we're
looked
talking
like
about
there was
finishing.
the opportunity to finish. They missed it.
They got to find a way to make that play right there, Brian. Good.
Looked like nice pressure.
Just a nice calm throw and catch by Slaughter to the receiver Jones right there. Nicely executed. Jaguars defense has to get up there and complete a little more and try to force an incomplete pass on 4th and 5.
Corner's given a little cushion here on 1st and 10. Vikings at their 44. And Slaughter turns and has a man. Winicky makes the catch. And he's out of bounds at midfield, stopping the clock with 1:26 to play. 6-yard completion. 2nd and 4.
I'm wondering, Brian, the Jaguars went cover 2 right there to force the ball in front of them. I'm wondering if they'll go man coverage right here. They seem to have had more success for man coverage, simple blitz off the slot receiver. Let's see. Let's see press coverage. Safety's rolling over behind the slot.
Slaughter turns and throws, and he has Winicky, who threaded the needle between 2 defenders and picks up a first down. A 14-yard completion.
Simple zone blitz right there by the Jaguars. Good job by Minnesota's young quarterback at getting it out to the open guy.
Deion King makes the tackle. And it's 1st and 10 at the Jaguars' 36-yard line. They, of course, need the end zone. He finds a receiver. It's Beebe, and he is upended inside the 25 by Rivas. So from 4th and 5, with 1:38 to play, now it's 1st and 10 at the Jaguars' 22.
Here's the route.
A 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 55 seconds. 5-5.
Beebe got away from Herndon, and only Rivas saved the touchdown.
Yeah, Herndon allowed the inside release there by the receiver. In man-to-man coverage, Brian, that's a no-no. You don't want to give up your inside unless you know for a fact that you have help and leverage.
1st and 10, the
outside
Vikings. At the Jaguars' 22-yard line. They have 1 timeout remaining. Slaughter looks right, now comes back left, wants to run. It simply goes to the ground at the 25-yard line for a 3-yard loss. Vikings can stop the clock, as we mentioned.
Good job of Phillips on that last play by retracing to come and secure the sack.
2nd and 13 from the Jaguars' 25. Slaughter stands in the pocket, turns and slings a pass, and misses his intended target. He had a receiver wide open in the middle of the field, but he couldn't connect. Tyler Hoppus, the tight end.
So the Jaguars are up showing blitz, but let's see. They're going to fall back into a zone coverage. The defender falls down. Thankfully, there was a miscue by Slaughter and the tight end.
29 seconds remain, 14-10. Jaguars clinging to the lead here. 3rd and 13 for the Vikings at the Jaguars' 25. And Slaughter stands in the pocket and slings a pass out to the 20-yard line. It is caught by Hoppus, the tight end.
Timeout, Minnesota. They're 3rd and 5.
So here's the situation.
30-second timeout.
24 seconds, 4th down and 4. They can't stop the clock again.
Hey, Brian, it was just 4th and 5. They executed. Let's see. It's going to be really interesting to see the defensive call by the Jaguars right here. I'm wondering if they're going to go man and challenge these guys or sit in the soft zone and allow them opportunity to find a soft spot.
Interesting to see what the Vikings call here on 4th down and 4.
Jaguars showing blitz. Linebackers mug right there in the A-gaps.
Well, here's a chance to finish. Let's see if the Jaguars can get it done this time.
Looks like the Jags are going to go all
Slaughter,
man coverage.
hit, sacked.
All out blitz, man coverage. Good job by the Jaguars defense right here.
And the Jaguars do finish in dramatic style, ending the threat from the Vikings and sealing the win.
Here in the replay, the Jaguars front right there. Just delivers pressure from the inside, allowing the Vikings offensive line to collapse in the middle, allowing Wilson a free run to the quarterback for the sack, fumble, turnover on downs.
21 seconds remain. The Jaguars will go home with the victory, even though this week wasn't about winning per se.
I can say this, no matter preseason, regular season, this is the best play in football.
Victory formation. So the Jaguars come north. Couple of good days on the practice field. And now a win. I don't think Doug Marrone's going to make it sound like a win, not with all the penalties and mistakes, but they'll take it 14-10. And thanks for joining us. Jaguars win in Minnesota. This game has been produced by Winkler Productions, LLC, and is an exclusive presentation of WJAX, the Jaguars, and the NFL. For Fred Taylor, Brent Martineau, and Ashlyn Sullivan, I'm Brian Sexton. Good afternoon from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where the final score for the final time is the Jaguars 14 and the Vikings 10. See you next Saturday, folks, in Jacksonville against the Atlanta Falcons.